Hello, and welcome to another one of our Slant Alpha adventures that isn't really a Slant anything adventure. What would you call it? A Slant ATC adventure, I guess. Well, we're already getting silly, and the stream's just getting started, guys. Welcome back to another one of our Slant Alpha adventures where we're doing some VATSIM air traffic control training. As most of you, or many of you who have been following the series for a while know, I've been a tower-rated controller in the Washington ARTCC on VATSIM, meaning that I'm able to staff delivery, ground, and tower positions within Washington's airspace, and have been training since when did we start this, guys? Like March, was it? And of course, I know that seems like a long time ago, but it's progress has just been slow because the availability has been so hit or miss on my end. With the move and the new job and all that stuff. So I'm not trying to disturb anybody by saying, oh my gosh, it's been, 6 months? But it can be done a little quicker than what we've been doing it here. But it is also what they say is it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, but here we are. And we started this process back in March just to eventually become, or aspire to become an approach and departure controller on the network. And you're looking at the Chesapeake sector of the Potomac Consolidated TRACON airspace. The Chesapeake sector is the area that surrounds the Baltimore Washington International Airport. And that's just the northeastern chunk of what we call the Potomac TRACON, or the Potomac Class Bravo and surrounding airspace that the radar controllers handle. With me again is the air traffic manager, Jared West. Hello, Jared.
Hey, Rob. Hey, everybody.
And the deputy air traffic manager, Jay Bartlett. What's going on, Jay?
Hello, sir. Yeah, well,
starting to become familiar voices on this stream, I guess. So here we are, getting ready to, I think this is number 9, session number 9, guys. Am I keeping track? You guys keeping track?
Just counting.
Yeah, it's counting.
Right, yeah, right, exactly.
It's all fun, right?
Right, and when you realize it is the 9th session in 6 months, it kind of does put it in perspective. It's like it doesn't normally take 6 months, but it's really it's so dependent upon what skills or experience a VATSIM member brings into each session, and how much practice they've done in the meantime, and how much time has expired since the last one, as to how rusty they are, and kind of getting back up to speed. So hopefully now that we've been able to schedule these last several in regular 2 to 3 week intervals, hopefully that means my skill set won't be quite as rusty, and we'll be ready to go here and move some airplanes, push some tin, as they say. So I do want to welcome some friends into the chat that have said hi. Of course, many of you are here to say hello. And just a reminder that these streams, these ATC training streams, are just the kind of streams where I just don't have the time to interact with the chat at all, except for maybe a wrap up at the very end. So I do apologize. I'm not trying to be inhospitable, but I do want to really give the show over to Jared and Jay, so that they can give us a brief introduction into what we're going to be seeing and practicing tonight. So I turned the show over to you, gentlemen. And I use the term gentleman loosely, as always.
Well, especially for me. Jared's more the gentleman than I am. And I think kind of to piggyback on what you said, I think, evidence my last stream was kind of focused and relatively shorter. That's owed to your getting better and better, if you will.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words.
Do you feel like it's getting to be a little bit easier?
Yeah, I think I've got a better sense, and I'm going to just bear with me for a second. I'm distracted. I'm going to turn your volume up here just a little bit. I think it's probably on my end. I normally, for controlling, I keep the ATC inter-controlling volume down just a little bit because it tends to get chatty sometimes. But for purposes of this, I think the stream wants to hear what you guys have to say, so bear with me.
Well, me, it's 50-50. Jared, we do. But...
Right. John has the movie announcer voice. It's okay.
Oh, there you go.
It's all talking, no fluff, no substance.
All right, I think that's a little bit better. All right, very good. So, to get back to your question about how it's feeling, it is. It's, first of all, I've as many people who can look at the screen right now can see, I've spent a little bit more time kind of customizing the scope view. So obviously this is a very non-realistic view, I should say, of what an actual Potomac controller's airspace would look like, or on the scope rather. And the markings are not going to be quite as colorful and point and click and Crayola kind of color coded. I've boiled it down to the most simple things that I need to know where's where in the airspace. So this is a little bit easier on the eyes than what a normal controller would be working with. But yeah, so there's part of that prep work's gone in, but also it's just I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with the idea that when a plane checks in, don't just focus on that one plane. Make your command, accept the radar handoff, but don't just sit there and wait for him to call you. Move on, to see what else is going on in your airspace. Always constantly be like, okay, I'm done with that plane for now. I'm going to do something else. When he calls, I'll come back to him. And then the idea that the stars are just built to keep them tracking along their path, and you can kind of let them go until they get closer to where they're approaching the finals box. But then once they're approaching the finals box, I feel like I have a better sense of, okay, what do I do with them now? So I have a better, just a kind of a mindset of, all right, what's our ultimate goal is to get them out toward, column at 3,000 feet or whatever, or 2,000 feet. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, just a better understanding of what the end game is.
Okay, good. Yeah, and I think it shows, right? It showed last time, and we'll see how it goes tonight. Tonight we're going to throw some east at you with some satellites. We'll try to keep the stopping to a minimum. We'll just go for it. The best thing you can do, box, like we've said before, is try a plan, right? Come up with something and say, okay, envoy first, then blue streak after that. Great. If it works, no, it didn't work. Now, how do I fix it, right? So having an out for when you. And also, think about your speeds, right? That's something that we've also talked about a lot. That's the next kind of thing that you got to start interplaying in with sequencing and vectoring and stuff like that. You want to get those speeds flowing. Do you have any questions from last session before we start?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, awesome. Then
I don't think I'm connected to the Sweatbox yet.
Yeah.
We're on 1 this time.
Okay.
And do you want to review the satellite operations again?
Let's just talk through the basics. I mean, I guess the first thing to know is where on the scope they're going to, so I kind of have a sense of where the most frequent ones are, and then you pretty much just ask the pilot to determine what when they have the weather. Just let me know when you have the weather and say your approach request, and let them decide which approach they want to the airport, and then. You don't have to have it right up in front of you right away, but you kind of just come back to it, figure out where the key point is, the initial fix or the final approach fix or whatever it is that you're going to be getting them to, and just kind of go from there. So yeah, it's just kind of I think the key thing is to not lose track of them, and that's going to be my challenge tonight, is to not not vector and forget them. You know what I mean? Keep them. Keep them cognizant keep myself cognizant of what I'm doing with them. I guess the one question that I do have, and I guess we'll come back to it. The airspace over the Aberdeen Proving Ground. I think we had said in a previous session, we're not really too concerned about avoiding that. If we happen to vector somebody through it, we're not too pressed about that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I'll try to avoid it if I can, but. If I end up vectoring somebody through that because I need the airspace, and we're not making a case of that. Okay,
it's not a big deal. Jared, would you?
No, yeah, I was going to say, I usually treat it as cold as off,
gotcha.
And you definitely can do that. If there are controllers who want to simulate on the network, then they're more than welcome to. But for the purposes of learning, I wouldn't add more complexity onto.
Yeah, I think what I'll do
enough at you.
Right, is what I'm going to try to do is avoid it as much as I can. But if I get in a pinch and I need the airspace, I'm not going to sweat too much. Just vectoring somebody through that just to get them just to get them out of the way and then bring them back.
And a good kind of strategy for those to not forget about those satellites is kind of what you said: get them below the rest of your jet traffic, and direct to a fix. You know how to set an anchor, right?
I do, although I remember vaguely. I mean, I know because there's right-click menus you can do that. I'll do it too. I felt like I wasn't quite comfortable enough with that process that it was the quickest way for me to solve the problem. I think, kind of sometimes right click and drag to get the ruler, just to kind of gauge where they are, what heading they need to be on, and what the mileage is kind of a little bit more helpful to me because it's so quick. It's just that the quick double click and drag. So I
Okay.
think that tends to be my go-to solution for that kind of stuff, at least for now.
So the reason I say that is it puts it up there and it leaves it there. You don't have to remember where they're going. And it also is kind of like a visual jog to my mind that, hey, this guy's not going to Baltimore. He's going somewhere else, right?
Okay.
So you can do it either Shift F1 or you can just type .an and then space and the fix you want to anchor them to. So like, I think if we were in West Ops and it was Whiskey 29, is it exactly, John?
Yeah,
exactly.
So ZAKLY. So try that with like Envoy that's flashing at you. You don't even have to pick him up yet.
Okay, so if I 4418 aircraft select them. Oh, and that's the other thing that we were talking about off stream, and I think we talked about off stream after the last one. I don't know if we said this while the stream was still running, but one thing you guys encouraged me to do was to do this more by typing than by mouse clicks. Of course, if I'm going to do that, I probably need to move my microphone out of the way because it obscures my view of the keyboard. And I'm not a touch typer like I should be.
You're a hunt and pecker.
I am, but I'm a fast one. I can hunt and peck.
Fast hunt and pecker.
I can hunt and peck at record speeds, but I do need to look at the keyboard, unfortunately.
You don't want to say that too fast too often.
Yeah, I almost botched it just then.
So then just hit aircraft select or click on him again.
Oh, okay. Click on it again. Oh, no, I added it into my request list. Whoops.
And you hit enter, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
So that's okay. So aircraft select again. That's what does it. Okay. Okay. That's an interesting tool.
So you see how it leaves it up and it points him right there. So if your line starts getting real short, that's when, okay, I need to do something. He's getting to where I told him to go.
Right.
And that's what I'll use that for. So even like on center, nowadays, if they're going to some airport I've never heard of, they'll just get an anchor to that, and it just kind of keeps me focused on he's doing something different.
Gotcha.
So, and then that's how you clear it is .in again.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I retyped it with the fix again, and that didn't work, and so then I had to type it again. Okay, I got it. And also, I guess while I got him, if I just hit F3 right now, aircraft. Hey, look at that. So yeah, type in rather than clicking may be a good strategy here. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. That was a good tip, and I think in the long run it'll speed me up. But I don't know. Like right now, I don't know if I'm practiced enough at it to say that I'll be. That it'll help.
It takes a little finesse, but it does speed you up a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to remember to hit aircraft select and not enter. Fortunately, my aircraft select I made the key right above the enter, so shouldn't be too hard to train myself on that. We'll see.
And then departures and arrivals to the satellite fields. You feel pretty comfortable with that phraseology and the process and all that kind of stuff?
I'm probably going to stumble through it the first time, but I think I know it. You know what I mean? I know it, and I'm going to have to just pause and think and regurgitate it. But so it may not be the smoothest the first time. But
so on the way out, it's the regular phrase, the regular clearance, right? Mm-hmm. Except if you're okay. Yep. If you want them to enter controlled airspace on a heading, you have to tell them that in their clearance, right? Mm-hmm. Or if you just say as filed, then they're expected to depart, climb to a safe altitude, and turn direct to their first fix. So a little bit different than a controlled field, right, where they'll get radar vectors to their first fix.
Right.
You can do either, and it's definitely situation dependent and what the other traffic is around, right? But if you don't specify it and then you tell them runway heading or whatever, you don't know what runway they're going to use. So now you have to protect, 10 times more airspace until you can talk to them. So it's definitely good to be on the same page with the pilot, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so your departures, right? So you can either hold for a release or released for departure, right? You can do either of those with, their readback correct of their clearance, right? Mm-hmm. Usually if it's somewhere that I don't have any other traffic that I know of that's going there and they're not anywhere where I have anybody flying right now, pretty easy to protect that airspace. I'll usually just release them for departure. If I'm even the slightest bit busy, it'll probably be a shorter time. So, 5 or 10 minutes if they're ready. Mm-hmm. On center, if there's nobody around, I'll give them a half an hour. I don't really care. Text to the runway ticket time. If you're really busy or like maybe there's someone in the airspace or something like that, then I would give them hold for release call me number one and short of the runway. And then when they I said when they
said do.
When they call you number one short of the runway, then you can give them. You don't have to give them a 10-minute release. They're number one and short of the runway. You give them a 3-minute release, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that you can be sure they're in the air and that you don't have to protect that airspace from longer than you actually need to, right?
Right.
Arrivals are pretty much the same thing as well, except the phraseology once they're on the approach, right? Any traffic that's observed, right?
Yeah, that I think I've got because I've heard it enough times that I can regurgitate it pretty easily. But it's no traffic observed between you and the Bay Bridge Airport. Report IFR cancellation on the ground or in the air. This frequency change advisory is approved.
Yep. And the only other kind of weird thing is when you're clearing them for a visual approach. The difference there.
Well, you're clearing them visual to the airport, not visual to a specific runway.
Right. Yep. So at Towered Airport, it'd be cleared visual approach runway 33 left. At Bay Bridge, it's cleared visual approach Bay Bridge Airport.
Bay Bridge Airport. Right. Mm-hmm. Got it. So I'm sure I'll screw that up at least once, but yeah, I know it. It's just in the pressure of the moment will I know it.
Fair enough. So you didn't need to review much. Any questions on that stuff?
Yeah, the departure. Let me just kind of rehearse. Just thinking Carroll County Airport, up there north of the Westminster VOR. Cleared to, let's say, I don't know where they're going. Cleared to Teterboro Airport as filed. Well, yeah, but you can say as filed, but then still enter controlled airspace heading, 090, yes, something like that.
I prefer to do it in the clearance, so it would be something like via enter controlled airspace heading 360, then as radar vectors first fixed, then as filed.
Okay, got it.
I think, tell me if I'm wrong, John. I think you can also do the enter controlled airspace heading whatever with their release, but
but
I feel like it's better with the clearance.
Yeah, and you can do it both ways, but I do it the way Jared. It's
Gotcha.
easier. It's done. They generally read it back, which is plus you're done. you can move on to somebody else at that point.
Right, gotcha. Okay, so clear to Teterboro Airport via enter controlled airspace heading 090, radar vectors blank, whatever their first fix is. Maintain whatever initial altitude. And what would you do out of Carroll County? What, 3,000? What's the MVAs up there? 2,400, 2,500.
I have to look there, but anything above the MVA and below, low enough that it's not going to mess with other planned traffic in the area, right?
Exactly. So
so I usually do 3,000 or 4,000, but
I do 4 just because it's easier in my brain.
Yeah, and it's kind of consistent with what Baltimore
does,
are going to do. But
exactly.
for that reason, I almost probably want to do 3 just to make sure they're lower until I've actually cognizantly thought about what they're doing.
And think about it. You don't have anybody on, in final approch territory there.
No,
shouldn't have too many.
Shouldn't have,
That's the big should.
Well, unless they're unless they're under the slant alpha vectors, in which case they could be anywhere.
We'll find out tonight.
Panic vectors, what?
Yeah, or no, forgotten vectors.
Forgotten vectors.
Yeah, vectors. And that's the other thing that I think I kind of came up with on my own from the last stream was I don't think I gave reason for any of the vectors. So that's something that that you guys have mentioned before that I think I kind of just completely forgot the entire last stream. So I'm gonna try and get better about that.
And you only have to do it once.
Yeah.
And just the first time you take them off their route and give them the vectors.
Gotcha. Vectors for panic.
Vectors for ish.
Yeah, right. Okay, I think I'm ready. Like I said, I think with the stuff that I haven't said 50 times, I'm probably going to stumble through a little bit. But I think with the stuff that I'm starting to do more often now, that's kind of the standard jet arrivals, I feel like I should be better.
Let's give it a shot. So we are in East. Alpha is the ATIS. Tower is not online on the scope. Let's pretend that they're online for now.
Okay, Tower. Okay, got it. We'll be online. Okay, let's do a real quick rundown. So Shenandoah's on, Mount Vernon's on, DC, Boston, Harrisburg, and Philly. And okay, that's it.
Yep. And
Should
so,
I? Oh, and yeah, okay, DC Center, Washington Center, I should say, right?
yep.
And then my other question was about to be something.
Washington South.
Yeah, DCA. Yep. So the wind there is 230 at 1, so Washington will be south, I assume. Okay. No questions. My control.
Julie Bravo, your control. Potomac, good evening, Envoy 4418, 5,000.
Envoy 4418, Potomac approach. Descend via the Deal 3 arrival, Washington landing south, Baltimore altimeter 2988.
2988, descend via the Deal south, Envoy.
That quickly, I reverted back to the mouse click thing. Oh well.
Oh well.
Project
Hey, whatever.
for another day.
Exactly. Whatever gets the job done.
Do whatever's easiest.
It was whatever's easiest.
What's he doing? He's
going Potomac, good evening, Blue Streak 4620,000 off of Baltimore.
Blue Streak 4620, Potomac approach. Send via the Trish 3 arrival. Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expect ILS runway 10. Correction, expect visual runway 10 approach.
Expect visual runway 10, descend via the Trish 620. Potomac, good evening. Cirrus 1401 uniform 6,000.
Cirrus 1401 uniform Potomac approach. He's satellite, but Martin's towered, so I'm not giving him a say approach request. I guess Martin's going to be east also. So I'm sorry, I'm talking through this.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
Okay. Cirrus 1401 uniform Potomac approach. Baltimore altimeter 2988. Maintain present heading and 6,000 vectors for Martin State Airport, runway 15. Visual approach, runway 15, Martin State Airport.
We'll maintain a heading. We're doing 330 now. We'll maintain heading 330. And you said descend and maintain 3,000?
Negative. Maintain 6,000.
Sorry about that. We'll maintain 6,000 expected vectors for the visual runway 15 at Martin State. So there's two ways you could have done that, which you did was perfectly fine, 100%. Okay. But I would have done too. But the other option is if he's really busy, all you have to do is acknowledge that he's in your airspace, let him do what he's going to do, and then get back to him when you have a moment. So don't feel like just because he called you up that you have to go through the whole, approach request and all that other stuff.
Got it. Can I not do an anchor to the airport? I got to do it to a fix.
You just have to use the K.
Yeah. No, never mind. I got to use the freaking aircraft select key instead of enter. Didn't we already talk about that?
Mm-hmm. Potomac, Cirrus 907 Charlie.
Cirrus 907 Charlie, Potomac approach, hello?
Yes, sir. We're 38 miles to the northwest of the Baltimore VOR at 5,500. Request full stop landing at Martin State.
Cirrus 907 Charlie, squawk 2454.
2454, Cirrus 7 Charlie.
Cirrus 1401 uniform, turn right heading 340, vectors for the approach.
We'll turn right heading 34001 uniform. Potomac, good evening, Delta 2427, 12,000 by Trish.
Delta 2427, Potomac approach. Cross Baltimore at and maintain 10,000, speed 250 knots. Washington landing south, Baltimore altimeter 2988.
We'll cross Baltimore at and maintain 10,000, speed 250, Washington landing south. Copy altimeter Delta 2427.
Cirrus 907, Charlie, Potomac approach, radar contacts. We'll call it 10 miles northwest of Westminster VOR, 5,500. Turn left heading 120. Descend and maintain 3,000 vectors for the visual approach runway 15 at Martin.
We'll turn left heading 130 down to, what was it again?
120, 3,000.
120, then down to 3,000. 7 Charlie.
Who am I radar handing off these guys to?
32.
Okay.
Potomac, good evening, Wisconsin 123, information alpha.
Envoy 4418, contacts Potomac approach 12, correction 119.85. We'll see it.
Over to Potomac 119.85. Have a good night, sir. Envoy 4418.
Last aircraft call on Potomac with information alpha, saying your call sign.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Wisconsin 123.
Wisconsin 123, Potomac approach. Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expect ILS runway 10, correction, expect visual runway 10 approach, Baltimore.
We'll expect a visual runway 10 approach, Wisconsin 123.
Crap.
Potomac, good evening, Sun Country 478, 9,000 information alpha.
Sun Country 478. Sun Country 478, Potomac approach. Hello, Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expect visual runway 10 approach.
We'll expect visual runway 10. Good evening, Sun Country 478. Potomac, good evening, King Air 22 Tango Yankee 10,000.
King Air 22 Tango Yankee Potomac approach. Good evening. Advise when you have the weather at the Bay Bridge Airport, say approach request.
We'll go look it up and get back to you momentarily. To Tango Yankee.
Yeah, 22 Tango Yankee, Baltimore altimeter 2988. Descend and maintain. Descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000, altimeter 2988. King Air 2 Tango Yankee.
Yeah, I was stumbling. We probably stepped on each other, and he never heard that instruction. That's my.
That's exactly what happened. Potomac gave me Delta 774, 15,000.
Delta 774 Potomac approach. Descend via the correction. You already descended via the MIDI. Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expect visual runway 10 approach.
Expect a visual runway 10 approach. Delta 774. And Potomac 1401 uniform.
1401 uniform, Potomac.
Yes, sir. It seems like the weather's closing in on us. Can we get the localizer on 115 with the arc?
Oh, Jesus, you're going to do that. 1401 uniform, rudder standby. You can expect that.
Okay, thanks, sir.
You're killing me, John. You're killing me. Now my question is like, how are you going to do that in Sweatbox? That's got to be a pain in the butt.
Oh, it's fun. That's for sure.
Oh, wait a minute. This is a VOR approach.
It's
not
definitely not pre-programmed.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's a VOR approach. Is that that he wants?
You want to pause it and talk about the approach? Do you need to? Or are you good?
Let roll for now. I'm falling behind just trying to get it in front of me. That's the problem. There it is. VOR attack act. I was trying to find it in the list. Okay, so he wants to go to Sloof.
Sloof.
All right, so let's do this. Oh. All right, there it goes. And he's going to have to maintain. Okay. Cirrus 1401 uniform, send and maintain 2,600, proceed direct Sloof.
2,600, then we don't quite have the VOR up. Actually, let me see. I can't seem to find the VOR. What's that frequency again, sir?
I'm sorry, Cirrus 1401 uniforms 115.1, 15.1.
All right, 15.1, and we'll proceed direct Sloof when able 01 uniform.
All right. Well, here we go.
I was wondering if.
God. All right.
And King Air 2 Tango Yankee, I have the approach whenever you're ready, sir.
King Air 2 Tango Yankee, Roger, standby. Cirrus 907 Charlie fields at your 1 o'clock, 20 miles, reporting site.
I just want to tell you both. Good luck.
We're looking.
We're all counting on you.
Cirrus 907 Charlie, turn right heading 140.
We'll turn right heading 1407 Charlie. I heard a little chuckle there, by the way. Potomac leaving Blue Streak 2230, 10,000 information alpha.
Blue Streak 2230. Hold on.
2330.
2330. It's okay. I still don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Just west up. You got him? Okay.
Yeah, I see him. Actually, he's... that SkyWest is the pain in the ass one. All right. Blue Streak 2330 Potomac approach. Descend via the Trish 3 arrival. Expect visual runway 10 approach. Baltimore altimeter 2988.
Descend via the Trish. We expect a visual runway 10. Blue Streak 2330. Potomac departure. Good evening. Is at jet 116 2.5.
Exec jet 116 Potomac departure. Radar contact.
Potomac giving SkyWest 5258 2000.
SkyWest 5258. Potomac approach. Baltimore altimeter 2988.
Baltimore altimeter 2988.
Yeah, I should be doing more with him, but I'm going to leave him alone for a second. I got bigger problems.
Can we pause it? I want to talk about how to fix it. How would you fix that?
You're talking about Blue Streak and SkyWest?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could give SkyWest, I mean, he's just direct Baltimore, so I could give him a vector, just kind of across, I could give him a westbound vector kind of in the direction of Westminster. So
the first thing you got to do is get him in your airspace, right?
Yeah, well, he is at this point. He's crossed that border, but I don't know if I don't have the shelf diagram in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, he's above your airspace by 1,000 feet.
Oh, okay. So
if he was on the Trish, how would you fix it?
if he was on the Trish, I mean, well, let's see. All right, so blue streak's at 10, descending to 4. Just you could stop the descent. You can give him 11.
Yeah,
But,
just instead of maintaining 11, I probably would give like blue streak, a best forward speed.
Yeah.
Or 250 knots or greater or something, right? He's at 10,000. He can't really. But SkyWest, I would slow down.
Okay, yes.
And then once you get, your 3 miles, then you can tell him to descend via except maintain 230 knots or whatever.
Right.
But you have a lot of room. You don't have to fly him SkyWest all the way to Baltimore, remember, right?
Right, yeah.
So if you want to get him in your airspace, you can kind of point him somewhere where you don't have a lot of airplanes and do the descent.
Okay, gotcha. Just tend to get to 10,000 and then kind of in the direction of Westminster, really.
Yeah, and you own up to 11, so.
Okay.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to just pause on
yeah,
that. But
no, you're fine. And
you got a lot of airplanes now, so do you need
to
talk through the sequence?
Well, and that's actually what I was going to ask you. So let's take a stock of your scan. Where do you want to start your scan?
I know that like Blue Streak 4620 is coming up on the point where he's going to need, a descent and a speed restriction and get him in the direction of column. I got 2 guys that are closing in on the merge point between the Raven and the MIDI. I'm going to have to do something with them.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get 401 uniform. Oh no, he's headed toward the initial fix for his approach, so he's already going to come in behind 7 Charlie, so he's fine. The King Air needs his direct to his initial approach fix.
He does.
But I guess my biggest problems right now are the Sun Country and the Wisconsin.
Okay.
And
Why
Sun
is that
Country,
a problem?
well, it's because they're going to hit that point at the same time, but I do have.
Are they at the same altitude?
They're not. So Sun Country's at 6.
Yeah,
Wisconsin's at 8, descending 4. So.
And I'm not trying to make it seem like it's not a big deal. I mean, you have to do something, right?
Yeah,
but
it's not as pressing. Yeah,
Correct.
It's not as pressing as I'm making it out to be. Now it is pressing to some extent because Wisconsin's at 83 descending 4, so he's going to descend through Sun Country's altitude.
So who's lower right now, though?
Yeah, Sun Country just needs an immediate descent to 3,000.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then you're going to put him below where Wisconsin's even cleared to. So
yeah, okay.
You solve your problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I see these merging targets. I'm still struggling to think, vertically. So
yeah, it's something you'll pick up, and it happens a lot faster when they're doing 400 miles an hour.
Sure does.
Well, that's probably a good hint there, isn't it?
Yeah. So you'll definitely have to work that up, but it's something that takes practice for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Feel good with your scan?
I'm good. And you know what? I probably should have told 401 uniform that he can't do the arc, because I was just going to give him vectors to final, and that's going to probably go a lot better than that stupid arc. But he wants to do the damn arc. Everyone wants to do the damn arc. It is a cool arc.
I need it for my IFR, my instrument rating.
Yeah. All right, fine.
Why can't he do the arc?
He can do the arc, but he's going to go right over Baltimore to do it, and right across the approach. What's that? We didn't have to. Well, no,
he doesn't have to. You told him to go direct slope, so now that's what he's going to do. He's going to fly over the field at 3,000, right? He didn't have to do that. You could have flown him toward the airport, and then once he gets a little bit north of Baltimore, then direct slope. Left-hand direct slope.
Sure enough.
Look, you don't have to give him just because he asked for it. If that approach screws you, you don't have to give it to him. You can just give him vectors to final. And that's fine.
Right.
He also doesn't need the 2,600 right now. So, like, you could have left him at 5 or 6 overhead the field. So at least he's above the initial departure altitude, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
And then as soon as he's clear of Baltimore and other traffic, then you can tell him, cross slope for descend and maintain even on the, once he joins the arc, join the arc and to maintain whatever.
Sorry, I got distracted by the fact that I'm trying to change his... let's see, 026. All right, hold on. Cleared him down to 026, but Oh, and aircraft select. That's what it is.
Enter kills me.
Wait a minute. It still didn't take it. Oh, that's because I hit the wrong F key. That would do it. That's better. Okay.
Good. Anything else in your scan that you can see that you have coming up?
Not immediately. So hold on.
Okay.
What you're giving me a hint for something here. I think we've discussed the big ones.
Yep. We have. We talked about the blue streak in the sky was at the top. You got Brickyard coming in, but that's going to DC or Baltimore?
He's going
North.
to DC. He's on skills.
Okay. Yeah, so that's easy peasy. Southwest 538, you took the handoff. That's on the Raven more than likely, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What about that commute air friend of yours, 1211?
The commute air. Well, yeah, I took that handoff, and he's like hasn't called me yet. But
he has not called you yet. No.
So he's going to Martin too. Nice.
Martin through where?
Through Baltimore.
Through
Baltimore VR.
Yeah. Do you want that to happen?
No. I'm probably gonna throw him up kind of toward Westminster, and then in toward kind of where he is, more or less kind of in the direction of Westminster VOR, and then in the direction of where 7 Charlie is now.
Yep. And so, do you want him climbing? Because he's at what now, and going to what?
Says he's at 9,000 now. Wait a minute. Is he 5?
Other way.
It's 5,000 going to 9.
Yeah, 5,000 going to 9.
Well, wait a minute. Why does it say? Like, okay, 1401 uniform. I changed his assigned altitude to 2,600, and it reads that first.
It's backwards, John. His assigned is 5, and he's at 9.
Why? I thought it was supposed to be a 9. That's weird. Did you change anything with him at all, Rob? I don't
intend to.
All right. Well, let's just adjust that and make it 9.
Okay, so he's assigned at 9, and he's at 9.
Yeah.
So you have a couple ways to get him to Westminster and over, right? You could do how could you tell him to do that?
Well, I can tell him proceed direct Westminster. I mean, you should be able to look that up. It's not, but that really doesn't change anything. He should be able to do it, but I want to,
Well, how would you change his route?
Well, I could change his route. Clear to Martin. Give him a new clearance, right? Clear to Martin State Airport via Westminster direct. But I mean, I can just vector for the approach. Honestly, I don't have to give him a whole new clearance. I can just say, expect vectors, runway, visual runway 15, and just bang him on a 040.
Either way would work. A vector towards Westminster and a vector towards the approach. If you have time for that, if you're not going to have time for that and you need him to do it, kind of automatic, then just like you said, you could just give him a new clearance. Commuter 1211, clear to Martin State via direct Westminster, Echo Mike India, direct, maintain 9,000, and then when he reads it back, proceed direct Westminster when able, and now you don't really have to worry about the vectors part, if that makes sense.
Right.
Until he gets to Westminster, right? 2 ways to skin that cat, and like I said, do whatever one is easier for you at the moment.
Yeah, at the first, right. Okay, got it.
Okay, cool. So your scan's done. Who do you want to talk to first out of the pause?
SkyWest 5258.
Okay, go ahead and go.
SkyWest 5258, descend and maintain 1000, turn right heading 270 vectors for the visual runway 10 approach.
We'll turn right heading 270 down to 1000, SkyWest 5258. And Potomac 2 Tango Yankee, I do have my approach whenever you're able, sir.
Sun Country 478, descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000, Sun Country 478.
King Air 2 Tango Yankee, say approach request.
I like the RNAV, runway 11 from get-go. Or Gimo, excuse me.
From Gimo? Okay.
Close enough.
King
Potomac
Air,
Evening Brickyard 3982, 16,000.
Brickyard 3982 Potomac approach, Baltimore altimeter 2988, descend via the skills 4. No, I'm sorry. Cross Baltimore at and maintain 10,000, speed 250 knots, Washington landing south.
Baltimore 10,000, speed 250, Brickyard 3982.
Cirrus 907 Charlie, field's at your 12 o'clock, 12 miles, report in sight.
We have the field, 7 Charlie.
Cirrus 7 Charlie, clear visual approach runway 15.
Clear visual run 15, 7 Charlie.
And is Martin on?
Martin Tower, no.
Okay. Cirrus 7 Charlie, runway 15, clear to land.
Runway 15, clear land, 7 Charlie.
Should have given him a wind. I don't know.
It's fine, I got the wind, don't worry about it.
Okay, you know what's been Martin's blank in my weather list too, so. Weird. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, they're on mine too. I thought they had it. Get weird.
Okay. Blue Streak 4620. Descend and maintain 3,000. Reduce speed 190 knots.
190, then down to 3,000. Blue Streak 4620. Number departure. Good evening. Commute Air 1211 9,000.
Commute Air 1211 Potomac approach. Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expect vectors for visual approach runway 15 Martin State.
Vectors to the visual approach from runway 15 in Martin State. Commute Air 1211.
Commute Air 1211. Turn left heading 020.
We'll turn left heading 020 1211.
Blue Streak 4620. Turn left heading 190.
We'll turn left heading 190. Blue Streak 4620. Potomac departure southwest. Potomac approach southwest 538 9,000.
Southwest 538 Potomac approach. Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expect visual approach runway 10.
2988. Expect a visual runway 10. Southwest 538.
All right. That guy. Delta 2427. Contact Potomac approach 119.85.
Over to approach 119.85. Good night, sir.
All right, that King Air needs chemo. Shoot.
Potomac, good evening. Endeavor 3663. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Potomac 153, 15,000.
Potomac 153, Potomac approach, Baltimore altimeter 2988. Expects ILS runway 10 approach.
We'll expect ILS runway 10 approach, Potomac 153. Okay, you want to pause it?
I got a question for you.
That's fine. Yep, because I also have a question for you.
Yeah. So the King Air going to Gimo. It's an initial approach fix, but it's not the final approach fix. So can I just clear him direct Gimo and just let him handle the rest of it from there? Or I can. So I don't have to give him an intercept of 90 degrees or less on that. Just bang him straight to it from wherever he is.
You do have to give him a 90-degree intercept.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so 90 degrees from GEMO, right, or from the 168 course.
Okay, so my math is like failing me right now. So 168, so that's 258. All right, so I need to get him a little bit north from where he is.
Yeah, but I mean,
okay, go ahead.
But if you put him, what would you do? What heading would you give him now?
I mean, I need to get him a little bit north of GEMO, so if I can get him in the direction of 300.
Yep, that
perfect. Should be fine. Yep. And then the big thing right now is I just realized that Blue Streak 4620 blew through the final.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. So if it's planned, remember we talked a couple sessions in the beginning about if you're going to fly them through the localizer, you tell them that.
Which I wasn't.
Yeah,
I just forgot about them.
So how do you correct this?
Blue Streak 4620, turn left heading, and I told myself I was going to rehearse the headings. Turn left heading 070, and I'm going to descend him to whatever I can get him to. Descend to maintain 2000, turn left heading 070.
Well, down to 2000 and turn left heading 070. What else can I do? Without you having to tell me a second time. What else, if you're starting to get a little busy, what else can you throw there? Give them a heading and then tell them to do what?
Well, I can give him I guess I can give him the PTAC, even so it's from a weird spot.
You give him PTAC, or you can, turn left heading 070, join the localizer.
There you go.
Right, and then that gives you, if you're not ready to PTAC him, because you don't know if he's going to make that turn or, because the last thing you want to do if you're really busy is, give this whole big PTAC thing, and then
have him just completely miss the approach. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Okay. I think I'm okay. Did I give ExecJet? No, ExecJet needs to go to, where is he going? He's a departure. Where is he at? He is at 140. Does Potomac have all the way up to 170 down there? I think
19.
He goes 19. Okay. So, but anyway, he goes to Mount Vernon.
Yep.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So, but he's going to 32 for purposes of the exercise. Oh, I don't.
In that little sliver north of where he's at, it's 7 to 15. 19, sorry, 7 to 19 for that little sliver, and then the rest of that body is all at or below 19.
Okay. All right. So have I given ExecJet his turn, or?
You mean Blue Streak?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Blue Streak 4620.
Yeah. No. Go ahead and go.
He's got his turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
ExecJet 116. Contacts Potomac approach 119. Potomac departure 119.85.
Potomac departure 119.85. Go ahead, sir. Potomac Endeavor 3663 descending along the Anthem Information Alpha.
Anthem. Endeavor 3663, Potomac approach, Baltimore altimeter 29er 88. Expect visual approach runway 10.
Visual runway 10, descend by the Anthem. Endeavor 3663. Potomac Southwest 1980, 12,000.
Potomac, it's Southwest 1980 Potomac approach. Baltimore altimeter 29er 88. Expect visual approach runway 10.
We'll expect visual runway 10, Southwest 1980.
Skywest 5258, descend and maintain 4,000.
4,000, Skywest 5258. 5258, excuse me. King Air 2 Tango Yankee, can we get that turn to GEMO?
King Air 2 Tango Yankee, turn right heading 330.
We'll turn right heading 330. Now that's probably a little tight for me. So as he makes that turn, I probably move him back east just a little bit. But it's King Air. He should be relatively okay if you need to keep him that tight.
Okay. Sun Country 478, turn right heading 040.
We'll turn right heading 040 vectors to the visual Sun Country 478.
Yep.
Potomac, good evening. TBM 1814 Tango 1000.
1814 Tango. I haven't seen him.
Off to the east by Potomac 153.
Oh, he's all right. Oh, of course, he's 29. TBM 1814 Tango Potomac approach Baltimore altimeter 2988. That's when you have the weather at Bay Bridge Airport. Say approach request.
We'll call you back with the weather and approach for Tango 14 Tango.
King Air 2 Tango Yankee. Proceed direct GEMO, cross GEMO at or above 2000, cleared RNAV runway 11 approach Bay Bridge Airport.
We'll proceed direct GEMO, cross GEMO, and we'll clear for the RNAV runway 1 at Bay Bridge 2 Tango Yankee.
At Sun Country 478, turn right heading 070, intercept runway 10 localizer.
070, intercept the localizer, Sun Country 478. That's going to be a little tight, but you can just, this is on the visual anyway, turn right heading 100, report the field.
Yeah, I got you. Blue Streak 4620, cleared visual approach runway 10.
Clear visual approach runway 10, 4620.
Blue Streak 4620, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
0.4, good night.
Sun Country 478, fields your 1 o'clock, 10 miles, report in sight.
We have it inside Sun Country.
I really should have given the traffic point out.
It's okay.
Okay, Sun Country 478, number 2 for the field, cleared visual approach runway 10.
Number 2, clear for the visual runway 10, Sun Country 478.
Sun Country 478, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Power, good night.
Wisconsin 123, turn right heading 080.
Turn right heading 080 down to 3000, Wisconsin 123. Chesapeake, Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, Chesapeake.
Can I get tag on Brickyard?
If I can figure out which one he is, sure. Oh yeah, here you go. You want him that badly? Here, he's yours.
Yeah, I really do. I'm so bored.
Okay. Brickyard 3982, contact Washington. Correction. Contact Potomac approach 119.85.
Approach. Good night.
Wisconsin 123, continue the right turn, heading 100. Field's going to be on the rollout 12 o'clock, 20 miles, report in sight.
We'll turn right heading 100 and advise the field when we have it. Wisconsin 123. All right, so pause it real quick, Jared, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, so Blue Streak 2330, I need to get him an immediate turn, just jump him in front of Wisconsin.
Cool.
Probably a turn of the descent and a speed instruction. Don't the pilots love it when you get them all three of those at one time?
All three at one time. It's good stuff. Plus, they really pay attention too.
Yeah. 1401 uniform looks like he started the arc, so I guess he's okay.
Well, okay. Did you clear him for the approach, by the way?
Probably not.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay, and do I still even have that up in front of me? Yeah, okay. So he was direct slope, and I can say cross slope at or above 2,600 cleared, VOR runway 15 approach. That's all I need to say, right? That's all I
need to say.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
All right.
Now
meters already taking his tour of Southern Pennsylvania.
He's on his way to Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Also, in that general vicinity, what else have you forgotten about?
SkyWest. He's
SkyWest. So
he's
that's
headed to Camp David.
yeah, and that's honestly like the way my brain works when those guys come in on a non arrival, I fly them over the bay. Right, it doesn't really impact most things, and that way I definitely won't forget about them because I'm zoomed in. If I zoom in too far into finals or something like that, so it's just a different way of doing it, right? And then I think the last thing, and I think Jared and I were both commenting about this, or at least looking at this. How fast is 774 going over the ground?
270 over the ground.
Yeah. How fast is Blue Street going?
I know. I haven't done any speed control at all.
Not done one speed.
Not at all. Yeah.
So, hey, at least it's you realize it. Now, in fairness, it is Sweatbox basically. So sometimes if we do it on purpose or whatever, but it's also really just kind of get your brain into that mentality. Not every time will the pilot fly every single aspect of the arrival, right? Maybe they got to go early or whatever. They barrel down the arrival. Mm-hmm. The speed restriction on the Trish, what's the lowest speed restriction on the Trish and where is it at?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
All right, Brain. Okay. You don't like me and I don't like you. But let's just do this and I can get back to killing you with beer.
Continued.
It's a deal.
It's on the first page. Trish 3. All right, so they're supposed to get 250 at Trish, and then if they're coming out to, all right. If they're coming out, they're supposed to be at 210 by the time they get out to Stripes, yeah.
And as you know, you can't control ground speed. I mean, you can control indicated speed, you can't control ground speed.
Yeah.
So if it looks like they're at 240, 250, they should be at 210, right? What's one of the things you can do? And I'm sure you've gotten this as a pilot 10,000 times. So if I'm the controller and I see you over the ground at 250, you should be at 210. And if I could spend time saying, hey, I'm going to call you up, please, slow down to 210 if you don't mind, sir, going a little bit too fast. And he's like, oh, I'm already at indicated 210. Well, okay, great. Where he's at, you can skip all that exchange, that time wasted, and just give him an even slower one than 210.
Yeah.
180, 190, right? Be careful of the distance from the field kind of thing. But
yeah, that's kind of what I did with the other one where I gave him the 190. I was just like, just whatever you're at, slow it down.
Slow it down. You're going too fast,
it's 170 is kind of the standard to 5, and I wanted him, I didn't need him that slow yet, but I needed him slower than he was, so 190 was just kind of what came out.
Perfect. And the opposite of that is true on the Southerns, right? So the Southern arrivals, if you look at the Raven, is there a speed restriction other than 250 below 10?
Well, I'm assuming the answer is no, the way you phrased the question.
It was rather leading, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's Raven at 6. Yeah, there's no speed restrictions indicated on that second page at all.
Correct. Now, what about the MIDI? Is there a speed restriction on the MIDI?
I can check for you.
Okay.
Yeah, MIDI's got 250, but it doesn't.
250. Yeah,
it doesn't go any lower than that.
So that's where.
Actually, it does at Jan's, but that's all the way by the time there.
That's also the different configuration for what we're doing now too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so when when we're east flow, no, they're coming up MIDI then Captain Navy. Yeah, there's no other speed restrictions.
Yep. So of the two sides, in my brain, I always have a little sticky when I work Chesapeake. This is speed, all Mount Vernon really, all Potomac, especially Mount Vernon. Those guys that are coming in from the south, you want to give them speed as quickly as you can, or where it's appropriate, right? So if you needed Wisconsin to be a little bit faster than Delta, even faster than Sun Country, right? So to kind of give you that spacing, you can give them a faster speed, slow somebody else down. Just got to remember that you have to do that for those guys that are arriving from the south.
Gotcha.
Okay. And you have to start working the speed back into it for everything else.
Yeah, I've completely let it go.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay.
I'm paying the penalty.
Yep. So how do you un-F yourself on this one? But you're really not effed. But so the fact that you are turning blue streak, I think, is a good sign, right? You realize Wisconsin's, that's a pretty long visual. That's pretty long anything, 23 miles. And you're turning a blue streak into that to kind of tighten up that finals box. What can you do with 774? Do you think you can bring him in before Wisconsin 123, or do you need to let Wisconsin go first and then Delta?
Well, if I had been better on the speed control, I probably could do the Delta, but with him still at 270 right now, he's going to blow right past that, so I'm going to have to put him in behind Wisconsin.
100% agree with you, and that's kind of where that helps you further down the line. So
yeah.
Okay. And then 2 Tango Yankee. That was that was a tough turn. I think for where he was at, I probably would have had him fly a little bit more north, right?
Okay.
He did have a wide arc of a turn. If you had a departure that was low on that, you may have a problem there, right? So somebody climbs out and just having a problem, typical, right? And it takes them a little while to get going. I mean, it's 10, 15 miles, whatever it is out there, so it really shouldn't be a problem, but just kind of keep that in your mind. You want to make sure that you give him a little tighter turn and have a little more control before he goes direct Gimo.
Okay, gotcha. Where is he at now? What do I need to do with him?
Well, he is on final, right, Jared?
He's already,
I think he's
okay.
On.
Yeah, okay.
7.5 mile final.
Okay, so get rid of his anchor. And then I need to give him the speech.
The one you said you were going to stumble over?
Well, that one I've got, I think. That's
okay.
the no traffic observed between you and the Bay Bridge Airport. Report IFR cancellation, blah, blah, blah. I got that one. That one I got. It's the clearances from the satellites that I'm going to probably stumble over. Right now, I don't have time to stumble over them because I'm just swamped with airplanes.
This is true. This is true.
We're like, clearance on request number 10, standby.
So I think maybe one of the things you're doing is you're just focusing on like you're going to the satellites and then you're going back to Baltimore and then you're going to the satellites and then you're going back to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think instead of doing it for each category or whatever, see if you can get like a more circular scan going and get everybody, just give them the instruction they need for each airport. I don't know if that makes sense. But get this like you did with the 1401 uniform now, get them direct to the fix, kind of set it, forget it. You can even ask them to report the fix. And then now all you're doing is having to scan them to make sure they're not going to run into anybody. And that takes, a tenth of a second. You can move on to the next one. But I think if you're going in more of a circular motion instead of back and forth, that it's going to take you less time to validate that they don't need any action right now and I can move on to the next guy who does.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I'm putting that the right way.
No, it makes sense. I'm definitely kind of like my brain power is getting sucked in by the satellite stuff, and it's causing me to just lose my picture on the.
They're the big distraction.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and and I guess that's what the drill is all about. Really, like I feel like my sequence for Baltimore would look great if I didn't have 2 guys coming into Bay Bridge and 2 guys coming into Martin right now.
And that's always going to be the case, man. Let me tell you.
I know.
To Jared's point, if you look at 1-4 Tango, right? He's a TBM. He's at 11,000. You can obviously bring him lower. That's one option. You can fly him north and put him on a heading so that you don't have to worry about what he's got to do at the end. So try to, find ways to make your life easier when it comes to satellites. Like the guy that you proceed direct slope. That's exactly what you want to do. Obviously, and then like Jared said, monitor, make sure he didn't climb or descend or whatever, but then he's out of your hair, right? And you can move on to the other things. But you do want to have a very consistent pattern, which is why we always recommend a circular when it comes to scanning. It keeps it always flowing in that same direction.
So how could you kind of set Martin State on automatic right now?
Well, for 401 uniform. He's already cleared on his approach.
Okay.
It's a little early to clear him to land, I would think, but I guess I can.
Is it clear conflict?
Yeah, I guess he is.
Yeah, I mean, you do something like you could either say, 01 uniform report a 5-mile final, or you could say clear to land report a 5-mile final.
Okay, true.
Who else is going to Martin State?
The commuter. I mean, he's well behind 401 uniform now, so I can kind of turn him down toward the airport and
just say clear direct Martin State, report the airport and site, send and maintain 3000.
Yep, and then that's just those two going to Martin, right?
Yep, and now you don't have to worry about, they both have reports, right?
Yep.
So now all you have to do is, like John was saying, then it's just the monitor.
Yeah, then
right?
It's right, okay.
You take the workload from, I'm waiting for him to get where I need to turn him, and I have to check that every 5 seconds, to he's on automatic and he's going to call me when he's on a 5-mile final, or when he sees the airport, or whatever, right?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, exactly. It's like setting a reminder for yourself. And then the other thing
like
that I kind of
downwind.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing I just realized just through talking through what we just said, which was 2 guys heading to Martin, 2 guys heading to Bay Bridge, it just clicked after I said that out loud. I've got 2 guys heading to Bay Bridge Airport.
You do?
Bay Bridge Airport's non-towered.
It's not.
Those guys are both IFR.
And whenever that guy with no GPS and a Mooney decides to call for an IFR clearance, then you're also going to have that one too.
Well, that guy's
flying to Snow Hill.
That guy's a jerk. Yeah. That guy's a jerk anyway. Thinks he's somebody.
All right. So who is the most important thing for you right now to talk to?
Oh God, who knows? 10 of them.
I can tell you. I can give you. I'll give this one to you.
I can key in on the absolute most important one right now. Is that Blue Streak 2330?
Okay. No? All right. I would have said Commute Air because he's about to bust up into New York.
Oh, well.
A little ways to go, but he's
Yeah, I guess he's number 2. He's number 2.
Number 2.
Blue Streak 2330. I need to bang him on a turn toward Jeans like right now, like yesterday.
Okay.
So go through, as soon as we unpause it, go through one big circular scan and just get everything done you need to get done. Kind of do it in the priority, right? But if you can do it in the circle, or get your priorities done and then do your circle scan.
And then that SkyWest up there too. Oh my God! All right.
Yeah, he's definitely about to bust into what? Yeah.
So I almost feel like it's Blue Streak 2330 and then SkyWest and then Commute Air.
Okay, works for me.
And then whoever else I'm going to forget at that point.
All right, I'm ready to type fast. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Blue Streak 2330, turn left, heading 130, descend and maintain 2000.
130 down 2000. Blue Streak 2330.
Sky was 5258, turn left, heading 190.
Left 190, 5258.
Commute Air 1211, turn right, heading 140, descend and maintain 3000.
3140, Commute Air 1211.
Delta 774, reduce speed 170, turn right heading, turn right heading 010.
Turn right 010 and then slow it down to 170, Delta 774.
Blue Streak 2330, fields at your 10 o'clock, 10 miles report in sight.
Okay, you slowed him down, but did you slow down Wisconsin?
No, he's already doing. Oh, he's doing 260. Shit. Why is he doing 260?
Hashtag VATSIM. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
he's on the MIDI. He's still at a 250 restriction.
Yeah, he is. All right. Well, that's okay. He's got a little bit of distance to close up.
That's all part of your plan, is what you're saying.
No, it wasn't, but it is now.
It is now. All right, works for me. Potomac approach. Good evening, November 911 Victor uniform with a request.
November 911 Victor Uniform, Potomac approach, standby.
Standing by.
Blue Streak 2330, fields at your 11 o'clock, 10 miles report site.
We have it, 2330.
Blue Streak 2330, cleared visual approach, runway 28, runway 10.
Runway 10, Blue Streak 2330.
Wisconsin 123, reduced speed 170 knots, traffic 12 o'clock, 7 miles, a E145 report site.
We'll slow it down to 170, and we see the Embraer ahead of us. Wisconsin 123.
Wisconsin 123, cleared visual for number 2. Follow that traffic, cleared visual approach runway 10.
I'm glad you said that part. We're cleared. We'll follow that traffic, getting cleared visual. Wisconsin 123.
Blue Streak 2330, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Over to tower. Good night.
Delta 774, turn right heading 120. And decide to maintain 3000.
Down to 3000, right 120, Delta 774. Potomac, good evening, Wisconsin 425, 15,000.
Wisconsin 425. Potomac approach, descend via the DL3 arrival, Washington landing south. Baltimore
Washington
2988. Sorry.
908, Washington landing south.
Boy, here we go. Delta 774. Traffic is a Wisconsin E-Jets. 12 o'clock, 8 miles. Reporting site.
Negative traffic, Delta 774.
Delta 774, join the runway 10 localizer.
We'll join the localizer, Delta 774.
Skywest 5258. Turn left heading 150. Descend and maintain 3000.
150, 3000, Skywest 5258.
Now he's at 240, but I'm going to leave him at 240. I'm going to close that gap up a little bit.
Okay. Potomac JetBlue 3558, 10,000.
Last aircraft call Potomac.
JetBlue 3558.
JetBlue 3558. Descend via the Trish 3 arrival. Expect visual approach runway 10.
We'll expect a visual approach runway 10. Potomac, King Air 22 Tango Yankee. We're on the go around.
Of course you
Sorry.
are. King Air 22 Tango Yankee. Maintain 3000. Turn left heading 300 and say intentions.
300 and maintain 3000. We'd still like the RNAV 11 from Gimo.
King Air 222 Tango Yankee. Roger, you can expect that.
Thank you, sir.
Delta 774. Fields at your 12 o'clock, 12 miles reporting site.
We have the field, Delta 774.
Delta 774, clear visual approach runway 10.
Got a visual runway 10, 774.
Skywest 5258. Traffic 12 o'clock, 9 miles, a Delta E-Jets reporting site.
What direction?
He is 12 o'clock, 9 miles eastbound, Delta E-Jet.
Rough altitude?
Oh, yeah, 3000.
Oh, yeah, 3000. We see him. Sorry, there was a target off to our right. Seems a little high above us, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that guy's, he's heading to Frederick. Don't worry about him.
He's getting penalty vectors.
He's getting penalty vectors. All right, we see that traffic. Skywest 5258.
Skywest 5258. Follow that traffic, clear visual approach runway 10.
We'll follow that traffic, cleared visual runway 10. Skywest 5258. Okay. You want to pause for a second, or you want to keep going?
It's up to you.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
Southwest 44, 15,000, descending along the Anthem.
Southwest 538, turn right heading 070, descend and maintain 3,000.
070 down to 3,000, Southwest 538.
Cirrus 01 uniform, looking for landing clearance.
Cirrus 01 uniform, runway 15, cleared to land.
Clear line 1501 uniform.
All right, F4, bonk, F1, bonk. Did Southwest start his turn?
He should
What
be
heading?
turning 070. 3,000.
Sorry, I missed that one.
All right. Southwest 1980, reduce speed 170, turn left heading 130.
Turn left heading 130 down to 170 Southwest. What was that again?
1980.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 1980.
Southwest 1980, descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000. Not 1980.
Slow down,
Commuter-
Potomac.
Yeah, commuter 1211, fields at your 12 to 1 o'clock, 10 miles, report in sight.
We see this the field commuter 1211.
Commuter 1211, cleared visual approach, runway 15.
Clear visual, runway 15.
Commuter 1211, runway 15, clear to land.
runway 15, clear to land. Look at that, triple service. TBM 14 Tango with a request. We'd have the approach request whenever you're ready.
TBM 14 tank. All right, yeah, we're gonna need
You want to pause it? Yeah, I was wondering. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
So 2 Tango Yankee is my first IFR into Bay Bridge.
Yep.
14 Tango is my second IFR into Bay Bridge.
Yep.
I gave 2 Tango Yankee a vector on the go around. Now, does that kind of negate the fact that I've got an IFR operation at that field? I guess I haven't cleared him for an approach. Okay, quote unquote IFR operation at a field is defined by somebody that I've cleared for an approach. Yes.
No, it's a flight plan. So that's why it's cancel IFR in the air or on the ground, right? So that's how you get rid of that requirement. Now they're VFR, it's up to them, right?
I think the question was he can only have one IFR operation at a time. So when does it count as an IFR operation?
It's
right. So
right now,
when they're cleared for the approach, you can
right
only have
now.
one cleared
Okay,
for the approach at a time.
got it. So right now I've got
that was your
two
question. I'm sorry.
that have a flight plan going to Bay Bridge, but right now there's no clear sequence as to who has priority. Right? I can decide based on where they are and what they're doing as to which one I'm going to bang in for the approach first.
Well, which one would you want to? Yeah, that's technically true, but which one would you want to?
Well, 2 Tango Yankee is in a better position.
Well, he's also lower, right?
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Now,
okay.
So,
oh yeah, that.
Those altitudes will get you.
Yeah, every time. So
God, I can't see the third dimension in this thing yet. Oh my god.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll get there.
Marty, you're not thinking 3-dimensionally.
1.21 gigawatts.
I love that.
Oh Lord. Okay, so he was supposed to think 4-dimensionally. I'm still trying to master the freaking third one. Anyway.
So number one, what do you want to do with 14 Tango, right? Because if he's going to go second, which I'm presuming that you're going to have him go second, what are some of the options you have with him?
Well, he's got to descend.
Yep.
Since 2 Tango Yankees at 3, I probably put him down to 4.
Okay.
And then I probably want to just move him over to the eastern shore a little bit, just so that when he's ready to come in, I mean, I'm assuming he's going to. It's not a given that he's going to want the same approach, but presuming the same wind conditions, it's a safe bet he's going to want the same approach.
Correct.
Or at least an approach to 11, not necessarily the same approach. He could say visual approach 1-1, but still doesn't matter.
Well, he can also take. Can he take 2-9?
He can if he wants it that bad. I mean, I can't clear them both to it at the same time, regardless of which runway they're using.
No,
so
yeah, it doesn't matter. Which is why. Which is why.
Well,
at the end of the day, one of the reasons why.
Well, right. it doesn't matter, but it matters in the sense that if he's going to want the RNAV, I'll be ahead of the game if I kind of have him up near Swan and I can scoop him around into where that RNAV starts.
Correct.
And then if he says I want a visual, okay, well, I scoop him in that same path anyway. Why not?
Exactly. And the same altitudes, right? And that's if you use the approach charts for the visual with the satellite fields, it gives you a frame of reference for the altitude. The fact that you want to move him to the east is exactly what I would do too. Get him out of your hair, right? For any potential departures or anybody going awry on the arrivals. Get him over the bay, and he's going to have to sit there until the IFR plan is canceled, right? Or closed, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could put him in a hold, or I can just, vector him.
Correct. Now, if he was on an arrival, say he did want the RNAV GPS runway 29, what is one of the features that you could do rather easily with that one? Because it's on the chart.
Well, so he's got the published hold, exactly.
He's got the published hold. Now, can you give him a hold someplace else?
I can. Well, I can give him a hold wherever I want to give him a hold.
Yes, you can. Can you give him a hold would you want to give him a hold at GEMO?
GEMO's kind of in the middle of stuff, so not really.
It is. Yeah.
But I mean, if I've got the altitude blocked off, I can.
You can. Yep.
Good call.
I'd probably rather not, but.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, that's assuming that the departures off 15 right actually climb out, right?
Yeah,
I mean, 10 miles, they should be into the 10,000.
I just, right? I mean, I just eyeballing it. It's like, it's close to stuff. I don't want them to be close to stuff.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? As Jared always says, the tips don't touch. But you have options there. You can move them over to the east until you're ready for him, until he gets a little bit closer to Tango Yankees on final, he's closed his flight plan, then you can have him go direct GEMO. The other option, like we talked about, is having go to GEMO, but, as to Tango Yankees on turning final, you can lower him too. Right, so as Tango Yankee turns final, lower 14 Tango down to 3,000.
Oh yeah. Step right. Okay, so step him down. Right. That's
step him down.
I got the King Air at 30. I got the TBM at. I'm going to send him down to 4.
Yep.
As soon as the King Air basically clears 2, headed down, I could send the TBM to 3. I got you.
Yep. Now,
I got you.
What's
do I have the brain
area?
power? Do I have the mate? That's a good point. I think it's all, Eastern Shore is all like 2,000 MVAs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll bring up the diagram, but I think east of the bay, it's 2,000 is pretty safe.
Yeah, and so they have to be at Mythi at 2,000 according to the chart. So you can also
right. Yeah, right. Okay, good. Yeah, true. Mythi at 2,000. So 2,000 is really just kind of a good floor over there. Even though I got MVAs down to 17, 16, it's just 2,000 is a nice round figure. It puts them on the approach. So just go with that kind of.
Yep. And don't forget, you also have one Victor uniform who called you up for clearance from Bay Bridge. And in the order of things that you have to worry about, that's pretty low given what you got going on right now. But don't forget about him.
Well, I did.
That's why I brought him back up.
Yeah. Well, hey, really, honestly, like if I forget about him long enough, he'll call back, right?
You call back, yeah.
But I can also
VFR
go
and then call you for an
Oh, yeah, exactly, Jared.
right,
yeah.
Depart VFR, yeah.
Okay. Well, I just added him to the request list, and so now he's going to beep at me every 30 seconds, which I'm probably going to regret. But
well, yeah, fair enough. Now, your finals box, shifting away from the satellite, are you happy with your finals box? Your order is 774, but
happy-ish.
Okay, happy-ish. But do you have separation?
Yeah, I got too much separation.
Yeah. I mean, I think given what you put yourself into, the fact that you're fighting back is pretty good. I mean, there's 5 miles between 52, 58, and 1980. 8 miles between the two Southwests at the end there, which that's kind of, you could have brought 538 a little bit further east, right? Give them a heading that puts them a little bit further east. But, I mean, it's not horrible compared to what it was, right? So you fought back to get it to where it's at.
And 538 only busted a little bit of airspace.
A tiny bit.
That's because he didn't turn like he was supposed to.
Exactly.
Well, hey, that never happens on VATSIM.
Never.
No, never.
Or in the real world, for that matter.
Or turn before they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So Potomac 153, right? I said something about him.
Yeah, he's fast, and he's not at a bad altitude really. He's at 4, but he's a little fast.
No, but you want to avoid him having to fly all the way to where you have to worry about him busting someone else's airspace, right?
Yep. So if I hit the brakes on him now, then by the time Southwest 538 barrels past him heading eastbound, I can bang him in behind him.
Yep. And my general rule is once they're flying away from the destination airport, I hit the brakes.
Yeah, good. Yep, that makes total sense because that's when they're getting farther away from where they're trying to go.
Yeah, I don't want to fly them as fast as I can away from the airport. You know what I mean?
You know what? It really, when you say it out loud, it makes so much freaking sense.
It's hard to see it with the dots, though, right? I mean,
well, no, it's not, John. It's that I got too many freaking dots. That's the problem.
Yeah. Fair
He's
point.
gonna be dreaming dots tonight,
right? I know. Oh my God, dot overload.
Yes.
The only other thing that I would point out is Wisconsin 425. Have you initiated a handoff to somebody?
I was just going to keep him.
Okay, that works for me. That's fine. Just landed at National. Works for me.
Right. Yeah. Cleared River Visual runway 19.
River Visual from 25 miles out. You're good.
Just direct Fergie and River Visual. You're good.
Yeah, direct Fergie report the river.
Report the White House inside.
Report the White House.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm assuming you're saying I probably should hand them off to somebody.
Yeah,
right,
and that's so when they're clear, right?
I know. Really, honestly, when they clear that point, was it billet where the
billet.
Two when the DCA arrivals diverge from the Baltimore arrivals, really, if there's nobody else along there, just freaking you're done with them.
You're done with them, and that really is right as I get into the Bravo shelf. That's 4,500 over there. Yeah. That's usually when I start to hand off. Right. That's especially if they're clear of conflict, and I don't want to talk to them anymore.
Reduce that workload.
Reduce that workload.
Yeah. Did I botch the handoff? Hold on.
Oh, I think I did it. My bad.
Oh, you rejected it. You don't want him? You want me to keep him?
I had F4 for goodbye.
Okay. All right. I've lost a little bit of track of what the Southwest on final for 1-0 have been instructed, just because we paused and talked for so long.
So 1980, left 130 and 3000.
Okay, so he needs a visual point out or join the localizer.
Southwest 538's on a right turn to 070.
070? Oh crap! Yeah. Okay. Well, he needs to. All right. Got it.
And think of other tools you can use there too. You don't actually have to give them a heading if you want them to go to the localizer, right? You have that option too.
Yeah. And with the visuals, I'm trying to not do that, but
why not? It's there. It's available for your use. Don't make your life harder just because you run on the visual. You don't have to clear them for the ILS.
Right. Yeah.
Clear direct, call them and report the airport and site.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Put them on automatic again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reduce that workload.
Got it. Okay, so that gives me a couple of steps to do on the finals box. Well, really 3, because I got that Potomac that I need to slow down. And then I've just got the two fools over here at Bay Bridge I'm playing around, so I'm gonna do something with. Okay, we can assume that I've gone ahead and given Wisconsin 425 1985 to talk to.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. He's gone. Okay. Now, what who's the first person that among the many that you want to talk to first?
So I'm kind of working from Baltimore outward.
Okay.
So that means Southwest 1980, then Southwest 538, and then Potomac.
Okay.
And then I think, and then really just the two guys at Bay Bridge, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody else is doing their stuff, right?
It's okay. Yeah, they're okay for now.
Yeah, they're okay for now. Yep.
All right,
let's go. Go for it.
All right. That's
Southwest. Sorry, go ahead.
Southwest 1980 on the rollouts. Field's going to be 11 o'clock, 15 miles report in sight.
We have the field and we see that traffic ahead of us, Southwest 1980.
Southwest 1980. Follow that traffic clear visual approach runway 10.
Clear visual runway 10, 1980. Potomac American 141, 8,000 down on the Raven. Oh, no, actually, Jared, can you delete that one?
Yeah. Drop him.
Okay. Got it. All right, Skywest 5258, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Over to tower. Good night, sir.
Southwest 1980, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Tower, see ya. All right, so do you have a developing situation?
I do.
In the north? Okay.
Well, I got to, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Your plan just changed. It's okay.
Well, what do you mean by that? All right, well.
It's okay.
Okay, how close is JetBlue 3558 to Endeavor?
About 5 miles.
Okay. Do you see Endeavor slowing down?
He's showing 210. JetBlue showing 230.
Okay.
So yeah, they're closing.
Okay, so he should be at 210 though, right?
Yeah, true.
Now,
Jet.
What about Southwest 538?
Well, okay, yeah. The scope just told me there's a conflict there. Southwest 538, I've kind of missed my window on him, so I'm going to kind of bring him in behind JetBlue.
Okay.
JetBlue 3558, reduced speed 190 knots.
190, JetBlue 3558.
Potomac 153, reduced speed 190 knots, turn right heading 070.
We'll turn right heading 070, reduced speed 190. Potomac 153.
TBM 1814 Tango, turn left heading 070, descend and maintain 4,000.
Turn left heading 070, descend and maintain 4,000. Potomac, crap. Red tape 355, 11,000. I always forget what that.
He's on the Clipper. Okay. Red tape 355. Potomac approach. Cross Baltimore and maintain 10,000. Speed 250 knots. Washington landing south. Baltimore altimeter 298.
298, 10,000. Speed 250. Red tape 355.
Potomac 153. Continue the right turn heading 120. Join the runway 10 localizer.
Turn right 120. Join localizer. Potomac 153.
Endeavor 3663, reduce speed 170 knots.
Reduce speed 170.
Endeavor 3669,
And,
also
yeah.
descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000. Yeah, definitely want to do that.
JetBlue 3558, reduce speed 170 knots.
Reduce speed 170. JetBlue 3558.
Southwest 538, reduce speed 170 knots. Turn right heading 160.
160, 170, Southwest 538. And King Air 2 Tango Yankee, what was that turn again, sir? I'm sorry.
Did I give him one? Probably not.
Nope. Nope. That's the VATSIM way of doing it.
Yeah. King Air 2 Tango Yankee, turn left heading 150.
Turn left heading 150, 2 Tango Yankee.
All right. Southwest 1980, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4. We'll see it.
Over to tower, see you. Now, as you can tell, 2 Tango Yankee, you definitely want to be aware if they're going to GEMO. North of GEMO is trouble, right? So make sure that you keep an eye on those guys.
Yeah. As far as
if you had a departure now,
a Baltimore departure would run him over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it really would too.
Oh, should I delete that guy then? I'm just kidding.
Potomac 153, fields 11 to 12 o'clock, 17 miles, report in sight.
We had field 153.
Potomac 153, clear visual approach runway 10.
Clear visual runway 10.
Who is it telling me is in conflict here? Okay. Endeavor 3663, turn left heading 130.
We'll turn left heading 130. Endeavor 3663. That's a turn.
Yeah, I know. Southwest 538, turn right heading 260.
Turn right 260, Southwest 538. King Air.
King Air 2 Tango Yankee, turn left direct Mithy.
Left direct Mithy. 2 Tango Yankee.
2 Tango Yankee, cross Mithy at or above 2000, cleared RNAV, runway 11 approach Bay Bridge.
Cross Mithy at or above 2000, cleared RNAV GPS runway 11 Bay Bridge. 2 Tango Yankee.
Potomac 153, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Tower, see you.
What did I give Endeavor 3663? Endeavor 3663, turn left heading 100, report the field in sight.
We'll turn left heading 100 now and report the field in sight. Endeavor 3663.
Southwest 44, Potomac approaching on frequency.
Yeah, sir. We talked a little while ago.
Oh yeah, did you?
Okay. I did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I told you the wrong arrival.
Oh, okay. Did you little bastard?
I did. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Southwest 44, descend and maintain 4000. Turn right heading 190.
Turn right 190 down to 4000. Southwest 44.
You think you can get Southwest 538 in between Potomac and Endeavor?
Potomac and Endeavor? Oh, maybe. Well, if I'd seen that 30 seconds ago, maybe.
Okay.
JetBlue 3558, turn left heading 130.
Turn left heading 1.
Yeah, we'll say descend and maintain 3000. Sorry. I know I'm John. I'm slow on those.
That's
every
okay.
time. I tack on those altitudes as an afterthought.
It's okay. At least you had the thought. That's all that matters. Down to 3000, left 130. JetBlue 3558. What's this call sign, Jared? I forget it. MPX.
Northeast Express, I think.
What's it called?
Northeast Express, I think.
There you go. Northeast Express, Potomac Northeast Express, 225, 10,000.
Northeast Express 225 Potomac approach. Hello. King Air 2 Tango Yankee. No traffic observed between you and the Bay Bridge airports. Report IFR cancellation on the ground or in the this frequency. Frequency change of advisories approved.
We copy all that. I'm not going to read it back to you. 2 Tango Yankee. And Potomac departure, King Air 911 Victor uniform is still at Bay Bridge. Request IFR clearance.
911 Victor uniform Potomac approach. Clearance on request. Standby. Southwest 44, turn right heading 240.
240, Southwest 44.
Endeavor 3663, fields 12 o'clock, 14 miles, report in sight.
We have the field, Endeavor 3663.
Endeavor 3663, cleared visual approach runway 10.
Cleared visual run 0, 3663.
You think 1 Tango is too far from Whiskey 29 yet?
Yeah, he is. King Air, well, hold on. JetBlue 3558, traffic 11 o'clock, 7 miles at CRJ 3000 eastbound, report in sight.
We do not see him. Sorry about that, JetBlue 3558.
JetBlue 3558, turn left heading 070, join the runway 10 localizer.
070, join localizer, JetBlue 3558. Traffic call.
What's that for Southwest 538?
Yeah, Southwest 538. Yeah.
Yeah.
You pointed him right at the other guy, so you kind of have to give him a little service there.
Yeah, fair enough. And the thing is like I forgot that he's not just following that star out to the north and west, and so that's he's my bad.
That's okay.
All right, Endeavor 3663, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Tower, good night.
Southwest 44, reduce speed 190 knots.
Reduce speed 190, Southwest 44.
I guess I should pick up the handoff on that guy.
Potomac Avenue, Blue Streak 4823, 9,000.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk to you in a minute. You guy, what is your name again? TVM 1814 Tango, turn left heading 270.
Turn left, due west, 14 Tango.
Southwest 538, turn left heading 130.
Turn left heading 130, Southwest 538.
JetBlue 3558, fields at your 12 o'clock, 16 miles, report in sight.
We have this field, JetBlue 3558.
JetBlue 3558, number 2, cleared visual approach runway 10.
Number 2, clear visual approach runway 10, JetBlue 3558.
What's November Papa X-ray 228 Potomac approach?
Yes, sir. Whatever the hell my call sign is.
Baltimore altimeter 2988. Descend and maintain 5,000. Turn right heading 300. Vectors for the visual approach runway 10.
We'll turn right. What was it heading again? I'm sorry.
300.
Turn right to 300 down to 5,000. Expect visual runway 10. Whatever, or shuttle 225.
Well, he's a C441. I guess I could put him on 15 left.
Okay. Chesapeake, Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, Chesapeake.
Hello. Red tape 355.
Oh, did I thought I sent you that handoff there. Hold on 1 second. There you go. You can have him.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Red tape 355 contacts Potomac approach 119.85. We'll see you.
Approach to you.
Southwest 538. Turn left heading 070. Intercept runway 10 localizer.
Turn left at 070. Intercept the localizer. Southwest 538.
JetBlue 3558. Contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Baltimore Tower. Good night, sir. And
okay.
2 Tango Yankee. We like to cancel IFR. Run the ground.
2 Tango Yankee I for cancellation. Receive 0054 Zulu. Good night.
Good night. And 1 Victor uniform. Just put myself back in the clearance queue, if you don't mind.
You've only been waiting 19 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. No big deal.
It's not like it's not beeping at him every 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I've changed that beeping sound to a throat clearing sound, so it's.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh God! All right, Southwest 538 traffic. We'll call it 12 to 1 o'clock. 7 miles. A JetBlue E-Jet 2,500 eastbound descending.
Yeah, 3,000. Yeah, we see him. Southwest 538.
Southwest 538. Follow that traffic. Clear visual approach runway 10.
We'll follow that traffic and clear visual runway 10. Southwest 538.
Southwest 44. Turn left heading 090.
Turn left 090. Southwest 44.
God, I'm killing it tonight, aren't I? What's that Blue Streak doing down there? Blue Streak 4823, isn't he? Oh, he did. Blue Streak 4823 Potomac approach. He's on the Ripken? That's not even valid anymore. What the hell's he doing? Blue Streak 4823.
I couldn't pay for Navigraph.
Yeah.
Right.
Blue Streak 4823. Turn right heading 360. Descend and maintain 5,000.
Down to 5,000. Turn right 360. Blue Streak 4823.
Blue Streak 4823 to be vectors for the visual approach runway 10.
4823.
Southwest 44 on the rollout. Company traffic will be 11 to 12 o'clock. 8 miles, 3,000. report in sight.
Is he traveling eastbound?
Sure. Yes, he is.
No pilot's ever going to do that, but
I know.
yeah.
But right, no, I know. You're telling me I forgot it. I got it.
Yeah, that's my less subtle way of doing it. Southwest 44, we see that traffic.
Southwest 44, following that traffic, clear visual approach runway 10.
We'll follow that traffic in cleared visual runway 10 approach.
Southwest 538, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4. We'll see you.
You're eager for that tower head now. Over to tower.
I am.
Sir.
Southwest 44, contact Baltimore Tower 119.4.
Yeah, tower to tower. Good night, sir.
I know, finally.
18 miles out, but that's okay. That's fine. It should work out great.
Blue Streak 4823, turn left heading 310.
Turn left 310, Blue Streak 4823.
Is it North Shuttle? What the heck is that guy again?
Yeah, let's just go North Shuttle.
Northeast Express.
Northeast Express 225. Are you able to accept visual approach runway 15 left?
Yes, we can. I think. Can we, Jared? I forget that file. It may not with the sats.
I'll pretend.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
I talked to my co-pilot. We're good. We can accept 15 left. Northeast.
Send me to tower early.
Yeah, no shit.
Northeast 225. Descend and maintain 2000. Heading 300. Vectors for visual approach runway 15 left.
Down to 3000. And what was that heading again? I'm sorry.
300.
300.
Yep, might be on already.
Close.
He was.
Okay. Blue Streak 4823, turn right heading 330.
Turn right heading 330. Blue Streak 4823.
Okay, yep, that's good. That'll do for now, Pig.
See, if I would normally do a big sound, it's a pig sound. Yeah, I would normally do a pig sound.
TBM 1814 Tango. Did I get your approach request into Bay Bridge?
Nope. You're a little busy there. We'll take it from Mithy.
From
or
Mithy.
nav GPS runway 11.
All right, Roger. You can expect that.
Okie dokie. Now, you can expect that, or can I give it to you right now?
Well, I'm looking at it to see whether I've got the angle. So.
Yeah, you have.
Don't quite have the angle, but it's close.
It's close enough for a satellite field. Just give
okay.
it a turn.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, TBM. Yeah, I know. I needed to put the anchor in to see, so I didn't know that yet. Oh, it's right there near Jan's too. That's a good thing to remember.
Yep.
TBM 1814 Tango, turn left, direct Mithy, cross Mithy at or above 2000, cleared RNAV runway 11 approach.
Direct Mithy at 2000, third RNAV GPS runway 11 approach. 14 Tango.
Blue Streak 4823, reduce speed 210 knots.
Reduce speed 210, Blue Streak 4823. Do you want them lower as well?
Yeah, I was just looking to see that that guy finally started descending.
Okay.
So yeah, descend and maintain 4000.
Down to why only 4?
Because the guy 5 miles north of him is at 26. Well, okay, and put him to 3.
Well, but will he have separation by the time?
Yeah, he will. Yeah, you're right. So 3 is fine.
Yep. Okay. Down to 3000. Blue Streak 4823.
It goes against positive separation. I'm just kidding.
Who were you again? November 911 Victor uniform.
Long suffering.
Say request.
We'd like IFR clearance to Philly Northeast. Let's try that again. Northeast Philly.
All right. Blue Streak 4823, turn right heading 070, join the runway 10 localizer.
070, join localizer, Blue Streak 4823.
Six aircraft select. King Air 911 Victor uniform clear to Philly Northeast Airport. Oh, man. Join controlled airspace heading 09 radar vector swan that has filed. Maintain 4,000. Departure with me. Ooh. Squawk 2477.
We're cleared to Philly Northeast via intercontrolled airspace heading 090. Radar vectors direct swan, then is filed. We'll maintain 4,000, expect 15,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure with you, squawk 2477. King Air 1 Victor uniform.
JetBlue 40 or Blue Streak 4823 fields your 12 o'clock 8 miles report in sight.
We have the field, Blue Streak.
Blue Streak 4823 cleared visual approach runway 10.
Clear visual approach runway 10. Blue Streak 4823.
Blue Streak 4823 contact Baltimore Tower 19.4.
Retire. Bye.
Okay, he can keep going. King Air 1 Victor uniform, read back correct. Hold for release. Frequency change. Contact me. Hold number 1 for the runway frequency change. Advisory is approved.
Hold for release. We'll call you short of the runway number 1 and switch advisors approved. 1 Victor uniform.
And obviously, I can't give him any kind of release until that 1-4 tango is down. So I know that.
Perfect. Well, down or does what?
Cancels IFR.
Yep.
If he canceled IFR in the air, would you say something to 911 Victor uniform with his release?
I would say traffic observed on a blank mile final, right?
You just tell him, you have a TBM on the approach. I usually just tell him that at the end, if I know. A release for departure, do your whole times and all the stuff, and just say, TBM on a 6 mile final. Frequency change approved.
Gotcha.
And TBM 1 for Tango will cancel IFR.
TBM 1-4 Tango. IFR cancellation received 0104 Zulu. Squawk and maintain VFR frequency change advisories approved.
IFR cancellation received. Squawk and maintain VFR over to advisory. Have a good night, sir. 1 for Tango.
All right. North shuttle 225. Turn left heading. We'll call it. Turn left heading 200. Descend and maintain 2000.
2,200 North Shuttle 225.
North Shuttle 225. When the rollout traffic, field will be at your, say, 11 to 12 o'clock and 7 miles report in sight.
We have the field 225.
North Shuttle 225, cleared visual approach runway 15 left.
Clear visual approach runway 15 left.
We'll keep him until he actually gets near a
Makes
final
turn.
approach.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea. All right, I think we probably could call that. So
yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
How do you want to take a break and then come back, or do you want to just go right into the debrief?
Right into debrief is
Okay.
fine, just to keep the stream length reasonable. So let's.
Okay. All right. So how do you feel that went?
Well, again, it was definitely a lesson in the workload. Again, the mechanics of what I need to do, I know how to do, but when the workload gets overwhelming, I forget a lot of the critical stuff, such as speed restrictions, such as traffic point outs, such as positive separation, altitudes.
Sure.
And so I know those things need to be done, but when I get overwhelmed, I'm struggling just to get the words out before I can even think about what I need to be doing. So it's still a question of workload, but I mean, you guys are pushing me to handle a high volume of traffic, and I honestly, I feel better about the volume than I would have, on a similar file, 3 or 4 sessions ago.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I definitely, there were moments where my finals box got ragged because I was falling behind, but it wasn't like the total Charlie Foxtrot that it was like, say, the last East file that I did, like with Dylan running it. I had folks all the way out past Frederick that I was turning in, and this time I was able to. I'm sure that at Shenandoah was a little annoyed. I kept busting his airspace, but at least I was turning those guys in by then.
Well, yeah. as annoyed our fellow controllers get, at some point that's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm taking your airspace for 5 minutes. I'm good. You're good. We're good. There's no one else there. Wonderful, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not to trivialize that. I mean, we're all friends. We're all gonna just get over that kind of stuff. But no, realistically, yeah, the finals box really could have been a lot tighter than it was. But again, the brain power that it took me to keep going back and forth to approach charts at Bay Bridge and Martin and all that stuff, and now we want the DME arc, and I got to go look up the name of the approach fix. No, I mean, and I'm not. No, you guys did that to me on purpose, and that was the purpose of that exercise is to manage the multitasking, and
it is.
I need to step up my game with that stuff, and I think just knowing those. Being a little bit more familiar and being able to spit out some of it without having to consult the chart every single time will help. I know exactly that is the approach for 2-9er going into Bay Bridge, but obviously this is the first time doing Bay Bridge in East Flow, so I had to go look that one up.
Exactly.
So it's familiarization, but it's also just that brain power that it took me to do something new, took me away from what I knew I needed to be doing. So just getting there. I didn't feel too bad about it, but I did feel like the back and forth of the satellites versus finals box was getting it definitely got me. Definitely got to be a little rough.
Yeah, and people don't sit down and bench press 400 pounds the first time they try. You know what I mean? You have to exercise that muscle. You have to practice a little bit and keep working it. And that's why that's what we're doing is just trying to take you to the edge of your limit, because that's going to kind of stretch you out a little bit and let you be able to like work on it next time as well. Right. So we're giving you the practice.
I think overall, like just that initial instruction of, okay, he's just checked on, I know what the thing I can say, like that initial contact. I think I was a lot smoother with those as far as like which ones do they need to descend via, which ones already have the descend via. I got, some reminders on the screen to that effect, so that helped me a little bit, but I also kind of, realized that the ones coming from the south are the ones that are already descending, and the ones coming from the north are the ones that need the instruction, so I kind of got that sorted out in my head. I feel like I did a little better with that. I kept getting stuck on wanting to give them the ILS, expect ILS approach, and then I was like, no, visual approach. I did that like only 9 or 10 times, but
there's nothing wrong with running the ILS, even if it's VMC.
Of course, right, of course. But the visual just gives me a little bit more, easier flow. It's like, hey, follow that traffic, clear visual approach. So I kind of wanted to do visuals. I wanted to keep expecting or letting them know they're expecting visuals, just so that their mindset is, okay, I'm going to get a field point out or a traffic point out. You know what I mean? So, they kind of know what to expect. That's why we say the word expect, right?
Exactly, and because it can change at any point, right? And that's
right.
Based
it
on
can,
what you see.
and to Jared's point, that doesn't mean I can't clear them direct to column or direct to genes. Like I know that, but my tendency is to not do that, just because, again, I know how VATSIM pilots are not accustomed to that, and so I want to try and change that up on them as little as possible, just to kind of hopefully minimize the number of missteps that.
And so how I combat that is I assign everybody an instrument approach when I talk to them at first, and then I clear them the visual when they get closer to the airport.
Oh, okay.
Because clear for the visual approach doesn't require any preparation really, and then hopefully they'll have whatever instrument I already have. I told them already loaded up, so if I need to use it, I can use it as plan B or C or D.
So if you're so even if we're in VMC, you're pretty much telling everybody expect ILS runway 10.
Yeah, I worked Miami last Friday south, and everybody got ILS 9. And when they got to the finals approach controller, I don't think a single one of them actually flew the ILS.
Right. Yeah. By that point, he's reports field and sight. Bang. Clear visual approach.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah. So certainly for West Flow, I've kind of figured out that Raven and MIDI, or MIDI especially, because they're already going to Jans, right? So that's easy. Just give them the ILS. at Jan's cleared ILS. It's like, it's automatic. So even in visuals, I feel like the MIDI's getting the ILS 3.3 left because it's like built for that. It's like designed for that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what it's there for. I mean, that's why it makes it easier for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. What else? What other notes did you guys have?
So for me,
let me back up a step because we didn't even get into your notes. These were my notes first.
These are your notes, yeah.
I still think that there was too many instances where I'm giving multiple instructions where I could have done with one. So I think that's another thing I'll need to kind of think about is what's a cleaner way to do what I'm trying to do. And then there was also a number of instances where it was vector and forget them,
Mm-hmm.
So
well, and that's why we always hammer. And in some of these situations, you didn't have a choice, but we always try to hammer leave them on the arrivals for as long as you can. It makes your life easier.
Yeah.
Those folks coming through Westminster and all the other crazy stuff. Once you put them on a vector, they're yours, right? And you have to maintain that.
Right.
It just adds to your workload. Sometimes you can't avoid it. It is just what it is. But the fact that you acknowledge it and see it helps you kind of get ready for that in the future.
Yeah. Gotcha. Now on the flip side, the things that I know I need to improve. Here's one that I was impressed with myself, figuring out that guy was on the Westminster and not the Anthem over there.
Yes. Yeah. If they're not descending through the Westminster area, and they're still at 11,000.
Yeah.
That's an indicator for you that.
Hey, what's that south? Now I did forget that I had spoken to him.
And you did, yes. And I told you purposely I was descending via the Anthem.
Yeah.
And not that happens.
But that's part of the drill, right? Is to recognize that. So I was happy I caught that one at least.
Did. Well, and I think that goes back to one of my notes for you is that you caught a lot more, even mistakes that maybe you created, or not mistakes, but like more challenging situations that you created for yourself.
I created by neglect, by forgetting somebody. Well, no, I didn't mean that as a joke. Actually, just I created the mistake. I don't think I proactively did anything to make things harder, but what I kept doing was just falling behind. That was what I did. I kept doing to myself was I kept falling behind, and then critical instructions were just coming too late. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I 100% agree with you. Was there anything else from your side that you felt like you did or need to work on, that you did better, or that you need to work on?
I'll probably think of a couple specifics. I think number one was one thing that I said at the beginning of the stream, or of the lesson was number one, speed control. I kept I kept falling behind on that. And then two is like the other thing I had said, which was once I turn them off, vectors for the approach, or vectors for vectors for traffic, or whatever. So I kept forgetting to say it.
Yeah,
and the traffic point outs too. You kept kind of nailing me on little pieces of the traffic point outs I was forgetting. So
and those are important things, right? Those are that altitude in the traffic call is important.
Oh yeah. No, you were hammering me on that deservedly.
Yeah. But for me, if you want to tell them why you're giving them a vector, but when you get really, really busy, this is the reality of things, right?
Yeah.
When you get really, really busy, if you forget that, I'd rather you have a better turn, a tighter altitude hold, that kind of thing, rather than tell them, vectors for the visual, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
it's important, but
it should be to the point where it's like automatic. If I give you a turn, it just auto trip off the tongue right after it automatically,
Yeah, it should.
So
Agreed.
I'll get there.
Agreed. Okay, so for mine, the traffic to follow, I thought was a positive, right? I mean, this traffic is ahead of you. They're on the final approach course, so they're heading east, whatever. Do you have them? Yes, I do. Okay, follow that traffic in and cleared visual. That makes your life so much easier, and that's something that's going to help you when you get to Mount Vernon eventually, because that's, at least for me, Jared, if you feel the same way, that's my saving grace. When they're on like the downwind through high tech or something, for landing north,
right.
I tell them all the time. It makes life easier for you.
Yeah, and
that's a positive.
You were nailing me on that a few times when you're like, nope, don't see him, and then I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you
Plan
do?
B. Do you see the field?
Plan B. Exactly. It's just you're gonna get that crap, right? Because it's a little dot, and they don't know where to look, and what does that mean, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and So I feel like that I did pretty well as far as like trying to get them behind the traffic first, and then plan B was to have the field and go from there. So I did okay on that. I felt for the most part, although like I said, the traffic pointouts were a little bit weak, but at least the general flow of okay, it's a visual. Do you see the traffic ahead? Good, follow the guy.
Exactly.
I felt like I was okay on that for the most part.
And I think even with the traffic call, right? Or the traffic point out, it's you're saying it, right? So yeah, you miss the altitude a couple times or whatever, but it's you're giving them something, which is better than nothing. So you focus on that. Focus on that positivity.
Yeah.
And we talked about the speed. I don't need to harp it again. I think every student that I get probably hears the same thing 14 times. It's speed is going to be your friend in east. When we're in west, okay, yeah, it's not that. It is still important, but it's not as big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
But you want to get in a habit of kind of giving the same speed every time, so at least in the same area, right?
Right. Well, this was a good file for that, because I think you guys intentionally put in a bunch of traffic that was just like blowing down, at high speed to catch me out on that, and this was a real good example of exactly why that's so critical.
Exactly, and it gives you more room to work, because if you do have to give like a 150-degree turn, that turn for them is going to be better, right? Than if they're going 250
which
over
is
the
super important, because I was doing that all freaking night.
That was one of my points. You do want to tighten up that turn a little bit.
Yeah,
try
I know.
To get, I go ahead. Sorry.
One thing that I had said to myself, I'm going to draw on the screen a little bit here. One thing I had said to myself in preparation, okay, we're in east flow. Okay, that means that's a 100. That means the intercept is a 130 or a 070, and that means the downwind turns are, 010 and 190. And like just get those numbers in my head at the beginning of the session so that I'll be ready to spit them out. And I completely forgot. So then all of a sudden the first planes are turning on final, and I'm like trying to do math. Like, why am I doing math now? I should have done math when I had no dots on my screen. So,
I agree. I'm not a math either. I'm not a mather. I don't get I'm not sitting there calculating that. I can pull my phone out with the calculator.
Yeah, so I got to do that. I got to do the math when I got no dots, and then when I have 10 dots, I'll have already done it.
Exactly.
And when you're trying to sequence those headings, might not always be the same. You might be trying to cut a corner, or
right?
Make up
Yeah,
some room,
exactly. And at that point, I can
room, or
at that point, I can adjust the heading I'm giving accordingly. But I was just like, again, struggling to go. Oh, wait a minute, 100, and then it's okay, so it's a 190 and blah blah blah. Okay, then it's a 070 and then a one. You know what I mean? That is stuff that when at the very beginning of the session I say my control RO, I should already have gone. Okay, it's a 100, so that means 070 to 130 to intercept, and then the downwinds are 190 and 010. So
right.
At least I can get the starting base going from there, and then adjust as necessary for the tactical.
But you're right in that sort of tactic, because if you do roughly maybe around Hun, maybe slightly west of Hun, right? Okay, then I'm going to give them a 010, right? A 020, 030. I mean, 10 degrees is in this tight little area does actually help you. It's
right
further out. 10 degrees doesn't mean much, but here it helps.
Yeah, got it. Right. If they're a little bit further out, there's a little bit more space, turn them in a little tighter. If there's a little bit less space, turn them in a little looser. But I'm, again, kind of just like not even thinking of what those turns are.
Well, and I think that goes to my next point is that, you did a great job when you did end up effing yourself, right? You fought back, and that if you looked at the finals box, aside from the one that was like 9 or 10 miles separated, even then it's okay, right? I've had those situations. Jared's had them. Every approach controller on the network has, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to have a perfect finals box every single time, but you in some cases.
I'm sorry. But...
I forgot. You can't see me, but I'm genuflecting right now. When those situations do arise, it's how you fight back, and you fought back, and that's the positivity that I want, and I think Jared wants you to take from this is that there was some situations where you could do better, and the fact that you realize it, that's what matters. The point is you didn't give up, and you said, okay, I had a plan. I kind of screwed up myself a little bit here. Now I got plan B. plan C,
Yeah.
and so you just gotta get it, and that's what we want you to do. That's where we want you to be in the progression of stuff.
All right, well, very good. What else did you guys have? Anything?
Jared, do you have any?
I got just a couple things. I know we're kind of up against the time, so I just wanted to re-emphasize on what John was saying about the traffic point outs, right?
Mhm.
Have you ever been up in a little plane in the real world trying to find another little plane in the sky?
I have not, but it's happened to me on VATSIM enough to know what it's like.
It is harder than it looks.
Yeah, and in the real world, like, it's like, well, if we don't see him, we eventually might hit him.
Right. But to catch even something, as large as a 737 from 5 miles away, you know what I mean? It's tough to see even on the simulator, but in the real world too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
yeah,
so
it's pretty authentic from what people say. Like
right.
It's pretty authentically represented as far as like how hard it is to spot them.
I kind of miss FSX with the little red text above, the airplane. It made it much easier to see. But like I would have trouble seeing people in the pattern, in the real world in a Cessna. But I just the whole point of that is that's why it's really important to give accurate and complete traffic information, right? Because the more you give them, the more you're zeroing in them on that piece of the sky to look at. And
I know the flow. Like I've practiced it in the car, believe it or not.
Good.
Traffic, 12 o'clock, 5 miles northbound, 737 at 3,500 reporting site. So I know the pieces, right?
Yep.
But it's just like I said, that emotional flusteredness that happens when you hit me with 4 handoffs in a row. It
it happens.
Yes.
But taking the
and
time
you're doing
to do
that on
right.
purpose. I get it, right?
Yes, we are.
Yep. And have them report the traffic is going to save you so much time. You see what I'm saying? That it's worth doing that work and using that brain power. So
I do totally get it. But yeah, it's just the and part of it is just like I do the same thing on my phone, right? Like real world example. I'm like, oh crap, I never did email my assistant that document that she needed. All right, we'll pick up my phone and go to email. Well, oh look, I've got 3 new emails. Let me check those real quick. And then I put the phone down, and it's like, crap, I still haven't emailed her that damn document. So it's like I know what I need to do, but yeah, it's the squirrel syndrome, right? There's 3 new flashing purple squirrels on my screen, and I just now forgot what I'm trying to do that I was halfway in the middle of. So yeah, it's the same concept, and it's just that focus. That is, okay, this is what I started to do, finish that, and then go to the new thing that's beeping at me. So it's just a discipline thing. Yep.
One thing at the very beginning that I noticed, I don't know if John caught or not, but Cirrus 907 Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
He came in VFR and he asked for an IFR clearance to Martin State. And do you remember what you gave him?
Probably. Well, I don't think I gave him cleared under the Bravo. Well, he came in VFR, so he asked for IFR clearance. I probably didn't go through craft at all.
Yeah, he actually didn't get the clearance. You just gave him fly heading whatever to send him 3,000 vectors for the visual 1.5. So yeah, just if they're picking up IFR, you and I have gone through this. You got to go through that formal, cleared to the Martin State Airport via radar vectors. Descend and maintain 3,000 or whatever. That's gotcha. I mean, it's easy. That's all you got to do, but you still got to say it on the frequency.
Yeah, and I don't know that I think it may just be that when I click on them, I haven't quite figured out how to look and tell whether they're filed IFR or filed VFR. Like I don't know.
Change Northeast Express.
Oh, you're talking about like the target? Like the target, the
changes flight plan.
Well, I mean, right,
to VFR.
I think I know what you're about to tell me, though.
I just did. You see next to his speed.
Okay, got it. I'm talking about like when I click on them and I'm looking over the flight plan box and the arrivals and departures list. I don't think there's a real good way that it kind of tells you what they are, and I think that's where I've been looking. But I think your tip there is an important one that'll help me kind of glance at them and figure out which one they are.
Well, and he was squawking VFR. I just think you missed the whole IFR clearance part. I think you were just like, okay, we'll take you to Martin State. That's fine.
Yeah, probably. So, and I don't remember where it was fairly early on, right? It wasn't
Oh
the
yeah,
workload,
that was right at the very beginning. Yeah.
the workload hadn't crushed me yet, and I was still stumbling over it.
I think you
Gotcha.
had like nine pending handoffs then though.
Well, there we go.
One little thing.
You can't count on my brain at that point.
Yeah, it happens. One little thing was red tape 55 was on the Clipper, and you gave him Baltimore at 10,000 and 250.
Okay.
But he was a -8. Does that make a difference?
I guess you're telling me it does, and I don't even know that I'd ever looked at that to see, but you're probably telling me he needs to be at, what, probably 9,000?
6.
Is it 6? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed that, but that's...
I think it's at or above 6, but yeah.
Why it's in the file, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, just one of those little small things, but that will happen sometimes, like Northeast Corridor when we get a bunch of people coming to DCA. You just do yourself a huge favor just to drop the turboprops to 6.
Gotcha. So that's on the Trish, you said? He was on
the
Trish?
Clipper and the skills.
Oh, okay. So he's in the DCA. Okay, so
yeah, and it's not on the chart. You'll find it in the Potomac SOP, like in that grid.
Oh, I see. Okay,
it's a nice addendum for you. Yeah.
Does say non-turbojets 11,000 at Nuggy. Trish, turbo. Okay, and then so the rest of this says turbojets expect, but it doesn't say. Okay, so it's 6,000. So that's in the SOP on Potomac. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a couple screenshots. You can't get away without a couple screenshots, right?
Oh yeah, cool screenshots.
So,
screenshots. Yeah, bear with me one sec. Okay.
This one, I think if you'd have done like turned Potomac right then and pointed him at Southwest 1980 and Southwest 538, direct a column, I think you would have fixed that sequence right up.
38. Okay. Yep.
Instead of taking him all the way back around behind JetBlue and back, I think you could have almost salvaged that. Or just turned Potomac right then and pointed him at Potomac. I think you'd have still had enough room. And that's kind of why I took that one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, at that point, Southwest was kind of drifting off to the northeast, and I kind of gave up on him and decided to resequence him. Okay. Yeah, there's more. Looking at the screenshot here, there's definitely was more space, and just real quick draw it on the screen. I know we're timing is a little long on this, but that's okay. I think it's worth it. So and, I kind of just let him go up that way, and if I had been quick enough to get Potomac out here and onto the approach, I could have turned Southwest down in behind him, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you could have put Potomac, right in there, and then Southwest, right behind Potomac.
Okay.
I think, that would have saved you, because, again, reduce the workload, get Southwest on Towers frequency instead of all the extra how many transmissions you had to do to bring it back around JetBlue.
Yep.
And then the other one I sent was just kind of an example. I think I took it right before I tried to say something, but everybody's at a slow speed JetBlue 3558, so I think you could have put him in front of Potomac 153.
Okay.
There, right?
So at that point, I'm going this way. Again, that's kind of my. I got a sequence, I'm sticking to it. And you're saying I still had the opportunity at that point to bang him down early, jump the line, and then...
like you're on visuals too, so you don't have to worry about a 30-degree intercept or anything like that. Turn him not even to where you put that arrow, point him right at the freaking airport.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, because it's way back here.
Because it's way back there. And you're going to cut the corner by giving him that angle instead of, the 130 angle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so you don't have to worry about Potomac running him over. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then he could just fall in line within 5 miles of the airport.
Gotcha.
And then also if you'd have turned Endeavor, so like I think if you'd have JetBlue turn direct to the airport, Endeavor turn left heading 180 and point him right at Potomac, you're going to kind of shorten up that finals box. And I think you were finding that today where you were running out of room at the end of the finals box.
Yeah, I definitely was, and I know that, like I said, it was getting the further I fell behind, the more ragged it got.
Right, and so finding those opportunities to plug the holes and deliver a 5-mile sequence is going to keep it really. I mean, I try to keep in e-stops. I try to keep my finals box 4 or 5 miles outside of column.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going. I think you were probably joining them 10 miles west of that.
I
you know what I mean?
I was out near that that boundary.
So you just don't do yourself any favors by keeping that sequence. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm not
Do you
trying
guys
to be mean,
do you guys see why I'm laughing?
Oh, yeah, because of Justin. 514 Delta Victor.
Martin to Ocean City.
He tried to hand it off to me.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I'm telling you, these guys and these Moonies.
You gotta watch out for him, man.
They're doing 420 knots. You see that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they nice.
That was all I had, and then I just had one comment that I wrote on one line speed.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
I just think you were a little late there, and being, like John said, more consistent. And I think that you really realized when I said don't fly them away from the airport at the highest speed possible is not.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's all these things seem really obvious once you sit and say them out loud.
But once you see them midfield, and you don't have they're the next on your sequence on that on the south side, right? You'll have 2 sequences, south and north, and then you got to figure out where they go in the final sequence from there, right? Yeah. But if he's number 1 on my sequence on the south, then I want him low and I want him slow.
Yep. And the south sequence is the one you can get him down to 2 without violating MVAs, so it's there's kind of no reason not to have him.
And I know I've said that to you a few times, but get him in the right place to be able to go in that sequence and make that happen.
Yep. Very good.
That's all I had, John.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other questions for us, or?
No other questions. I have kind of. I don't know if we're going to look at scheduling one or more of these in October. I kind of didn't. I published an October schedule, but I didn't put any of these on it just because I wasn't sure where we were going to go from here. It might be. If there's any future Sweatbox sessions, is it going to be new materials or going to kind of be re-drilling what we've already done at this point?
I think we can talk off stream and talk about what the next steps are, but I think we're at the point now that we're going to kind of keep doing files like this, right, where you just get kind of pinned against the wall and you figure out ways to get that corrected, right? And I think that's a huge part of an OTS.
Some of it's just practice.
It's just practice,
So I think what we may do is look for some opportunities outside of the stream schedule to fit in a couple of those, just to drill down on what we worked on tonight. Before we kind of figure out what a solo cert and OTS schedule might look like. So I will get with you guys off stream and try and get a schedule set aside for those.
Okay, cool beans.
All right. Well, wonderful. Any last closing thoughts before I go ahead and into my wrap up?
Nope, I'm good.
Thanks for sticking with us for 2.5 hours. I mean, that was a long one, but I think it was productive. So.
Yep. Agree. And it was fun. As stressful and flustered and kind of like I'm slamming my fist like digital engineer sometimes. It was enjoyable. I really do like the fact, like I said, the fact that I can see my own progress on this type of file from tonight versus 3 or 4 sessions ago. It's a testament to the quality of the instruction that I'm getting, and I'm not trying to be sappy. I really do mean that. You guys are a phenomenal team.
I appreciate that, but it's also for you too, because the students have 50% of this relationship. So
that's true.
You got to do the work.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Yep. It's a lot of work on both sides, and like I said, it's just a testament to the training program here at CDC. So those of you who are considering becoming VATSIM controllers, this is the training team that you're working. Well, that's actually, and we have a new training administrator that we haven't been able to talk to on stream yet. But he is every bit as fun and personable. Like I said, I just, on the random Washington Wednesdays when we've worked with him, Justin McElvaney, he's just, I always love when I see him pop up on center because he's just so easygoing and always no matter what happens, positive or negative, we're all having fun doing it. So he's got exactly the right attitude for the staff and the training program that you guys have already established, and the culture that we have in the ARTCC here. So
Appreciate that.
all right. Yep.
Hey,
Very
Rob.
good. Yep.
I'd like to congratulate you on hitting the level of GFAM finalist boxes.
Well, I didn't quite have it out to Richmond, but we were definitely working out toward Martinsburg. So. All right.
Oh no, that's the Richmond of Maryland, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, Martinsburg is West Virginia, sir. So.
Oh, that's fair.
We'll, that's okay, John. Off stream, we'll brush you up on your geography.
Yeah, thanks. You know me. I fail math. I suck at geography. It's a whole thing, But I can control fake airplanes and a fake network, man. I guess.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All
How
right,
much
guys.
alcohol's involved?
That's a story for another time. And when's
That's
the live
right. Talk
event
to y'all
again?
later.
This is called enriching mixture. We should do
Yes.
a live session at the live event. You should come
Oh
down
yeah,
there.
that'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
In
Yeah.
the middle of the drinking event.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. That's probably enough of that description of that event for now for live stream. I appreciate everything you guys do again, and thanks for those of you who were watching tonight. Again, this is VATSIM Air Traffic Control Training, which is not something that's streamed a lot on Twitch. It's a little bit of a different look of VATSIM. You got a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, if you will. So again, a lot of great friends in the stream chat tonight, and I really wasn't able to interact with you, so I do apologize for that. But do appreciate you guys for coming along to check this out, and hope that you enjoyed the show. And like I said, it's a great taste of what the VATSIM air traffic control training process looks like. It's a good taste of what they do network-wide, or at least division-wide, VAT USA-wide. But some of the progression of what you go through is specific to this airspace, and this is an extremely complex airspace here in the Potomac TRACON, which covers the Baltimore, Washington, Washington D.C., Washington Reagan, and Washington Dulles airports. So, anyway, there we go. Lesson number 9 in the books, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. But
We have a
But
mug
anyway.
coming your way, though.
Might need a new one.
yeah, I probably need to throw this one.
Careful
in the
what you
wash.
wish for, Mr. Sherman.
I probably need to throw this one in the wash, but all right, guys. Well, thanks again. Appreciate all that you do. Again, to Jared West, the air traffic manager of the Washington ARTCC, and Jay Bartlett, the deputy air traffic manager, and cameo there at the end by the former deputy air traffic manager, Aaron. So thank you, all of you, for everything that you do for the network and for our organization. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up for us. Coming up on the show on Wednesday, I'm going to be out of town, but Friday will be our next stream. We're going to be doing some live network air traffic control as the New York ARTCC hosts its Friday night ops up at the Kennedy Airport. We're going to be doing some ATC down here in the Washington region, clearing tons and tons of aircraft to head up their way and overload them the way I was overloaded tonight. So look forward to that on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu time. The full show schedule's down there underneath the About tab. It's also published on our Discord server. Discord server is a great way to catch up with the chat. If you were trying to ask questions about what you saw tonight, or just wanted to say hi, the Discord server is a great place to do it. I check on that, about every couple of hours, more or less, 24/7 when I'm not on stream. So jump in on that Discord server, say hi over there, ask any questions that you had about what we were discussing tonight. The Twitter feed that's down there at the bottom is we're Slant Alpha on Twitter, and not only do we try and keep you abreast of any last minute changes to our show schedule or topic flips or anything that we need to postpone, or if we're having technical difficulties, we'll keep you posted on what's going on using that Twitter feed. But we also keep you updated on any major breaking news in the SIM community as well as in the VATSIM community. So when things like Cross the Pond get announced, we'll let you know about it there. When things like new SIM update comes out, we'll let you know about it there. And again, when we got to change the show schedule here on the stream, we'll let you know about that as well. So follow us on Twitter if you want to keep abreast on all that stuff. Finally, over on the lower left-hand side of your screens, our YouTube link, and that is where you can find all of our old flight broadcasts, which is mostly what we do on this stream, but also the entire air traffic control training series is over there as well, and we'll go ahead and add this to it here within the next 24 to 48 hours. Get this one posted up there as well. Also, if you're considering getting on the VATSIM network, but you're not sure what to say to controllers or what these slant codes mean or how to put together IFR or VFR route plans, we've got a series of VATSIM tutorials over there you can check out on that YouTube link, and a playlist called VATSIM tutorials, and some decent information over there. You can leave questions about any of that stuff right there in the comments, or again over in our Discord server. All right, I think that wraps it up. We already talked about what's coming up on our stream, so I will wrap up by saying, let's find somebody we can send you over to. I'll tell you what, if you want to see VATSIM air traffic control done to an expert level, stay tuned. We're going to kick it over to our friend Sheed. He is controlling Boston Center right now, and so we will send you up his way. You can watch him do what he does from the Boston Center and from the Cat Tower, and if you don't know already, you'll see what I mean by that in just a moment. But do tell him that Slant Alpha sends his love, and that we will talk to him soon. Hopefully see him in Houston, Houston, Texas in June for Flight Sim Expo 2023. But at the very least, we will let you go ahead and watch him do what he does much better than I do it here in just a moment. So sit tight, and we'll get you over to him here in just a moment. But again, have a great rest of your week, guys. I'll miss you Wednesday, but we will see you Friday from the virtual tower cab of some airport within the Washington ARTCC, and we'll let you know which one that is when the stream is ready to go live. But until then, guys, be healthy and safe in your own travels and your own adventures in the meantime, and we'll talk to you then. Take care, guys.